Welcome back to another episode of
Sarcastically Serious.
I'm your co-host Shaun,
And I'm James.
and let's get this started.
Let's go.
Would have been the high side of you. No pun intended. Alright. I'm gonna start this bitch off right. I don't know why this thing keeps moving. I don't understand why all those things are so quiet now. Everything's muffled. Every time I listen to an episode, the distortions are real high. And I don't know if something we adjusted or something you adjusted.
No, we got
Just
the
acting up.
highs and the mids all the way up, the lows down, recording go up.
Because it sounds so deep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know.
And I'm like, what the hell?
Well, even the last...
We sound fine right now
Yeah.
on the recording, but
But all this shit... Oh. I forgot what that button was.
Welcome back to another episode of
Sarcastically Serious.
I'm your co-host
it
Shaun,
sounds fine to
I'm
us.
James.
and let's get this
But on
started.
video,
Let's go.
or any part of the recording, it's very distorted. Either way, I'll quit bitching about it. It is what it is.
We'll upgrade all this shit.
Budgeting is our budget sound system here.
Yeah, it is. All right. So
we skipped a week, everybody,
yeah.
and that's due to many reasons, mainly our schedule.
Yeah, our birthday.
Yeah, our birthday. We were going to record. Timing didn't work out. Sean's 50. I'm 26.
49.
And, yeah, but no. We had a little get-together here. We had a good time. We didn't get a chance to record. We thought about having a few drinks, come down here, and doing like a group podcast.
Yeah.
I think that'd still be fun if we could situate that one
Yeah,
time.
I mean, it would have, but damn, I'm trying to get everybody on the screen.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll do one by one,
Yeah.
one-on-one interviews. Next.
Yeah.
30-second interviews.
Running the train.
Mm-hmm.
And we all could just, pile up in each other's laps.
Yep.
Talk about the first thing that comes up.
First thing that comes up. Ding.
All right, so our last podcast, we went over some topics, and we wanted to update that because, like, the next day or two, we listened to the podcast, and then we looked up some information, and we were like, wait, and we called each other, and we told each other. So I'm going to go over the ATF ruling real quick. In a nutshell,
It's in reference to Waco. We were speaking about Waco on the last episode.
no, the ATF SIG brace ruling,
Oh, gotcha.
and then you'll do the Waco thing. So
Okay. Well, I can't remember the stats, but we'll try our
it was
best.
70-something.
Okay.
You don't remember?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
I don't ever remember that stuff.
Motherfucker. Well, you're the one
Go
that
ahead.
looked it up.
Go all through ATF stuff.
Okay, so real quick with the ATF ruling, don't fucking do it. Do not comply. At first I was saying, whatever, I don't care. And mentally I was thinking, okay, all I have to do is go and take my pistol with the brace on it, have them do the free tax stamp on it. So, and then I can just so it'd be considered an SBR now, throw the brace off and put a real stock on. I'm legal. And it's a free, NFA item. But problem with that is FBI no longer does background checks for the ATF. With that being the case, the ATF, because they pissed them off, imagine that. With that being the case, the ATF has put a cap on your application. So when you apply for a new NFA item, they have an 88-day cap. If you exceed the 88 days, it's an automatic denial. So this is totally a trap. I take my new SIG brace, or my pistol with the SIG brace on it. I fill out all the information. I submit it to the ATF. It exceeds 88 days. It's an automatic denial. Guess what? They have all that information and proof and documentation that I am in possession of said item without an approval. I'm in violation. I'm an automatic felon. And now that's a $10,000 fine, 10 year in jail maximum punishment. Fuck that. Do not comply. Fuck them. Don't register shit. It's going to go through lawsuits. Keep what you got. None of that was a regulated item anyway, so they don't know who has what. Fuck you, ATF. That's it. I digress.
Thank you for those comments, Shaun.
It infuriated.
Now for the weather.
It infuriated me whenever I fucking realized the extent of everything involved with it, and it was like, it's a fucking trap. I mean, wholeheartedly.
He's trying to get your name on a list.
Well, let's just say, I can't believe I'm trying to, imagine this. Our government was 100% legit, and they're trying to, do this to,
Better society.
not better society. Just the whole ruling is is bullshit, and it's an infringement. But let's just say they're trying to help us comply with this new ruling and give us a free tax stamp, which is normally $200. But the automatic denial thing after 88 days, that's total entrapment. And at that point, then we're fucked. And then they can do whatever they want. They can come kick in my door because they have the evidence and the records, and I submitted all of it. So I'm going to say, oh, that was hearsay. No, this is you, motherfucker. You signed it. Like, we're here to get it. Well, I don't have it. I lost in a boating accident. Fuck you. They're searching the whole house. They already got a warrant because all the proof they need is from me. So, yeah. It pissed me off. Anyways, go ahead. You just recapped on your...
And a recap on the Waco siege of 1993.
Yeah.
But no, me and Shaun went over stats, and I forgot exactly what numbers we went over.
I said 60-something. You said 20-something, and realistically...
And we're both kind of right, in a sense.
Yeah.
No, so there, 1993, Waco, Texas. There is a Waco, Georgia, right?
Yeah, there is. But
yeah, so from the siege of 93, a total of 76 people died in over 50 days.
Yep.
51 days that this siege lasted. 51 days.
Yep.
Why did it take so long?
Standoff.
I know, but 51 days. You think after day 2, fuck this, we're going in.
Yeah.
But obviously they're well equipped, so
Well,
nobody wanted to commit
look
suicide.
at school shootings.
Oh, I know.
You've got 400 officers piled up in a hallway, and none of them's
What do we
going
do,
into
boys?
a classroom. Right. So
Right.
they're way outnumbered, but they're standing off because they're fucking pussies.
Yeah. But at the same time, I could get it. It's unforeseen. That was not the first of its kind, but it kind of was.
Yeah. Yeah.
And obviously, there's been plenty of sieges, but something to that extent, I think, was not foreseen.
Something to that caliber with law-abiding citizens was mind-blowing.
Right. There's a lot of bullshit in the air of not having correct information.
Yeah.
On everybody's part,
Yeah.
mostly the government's.
Yeah.
But that's normally the case. But 76 people died, and 25 of them were children and 2 pregnant women, which I thought was insane. 25 children
25, yeah.
died, ranging from all kinds of ages, mostly young kids, from what I remember from the documentary.
So 25 were kids and 2 pregnant women. So it's technically 27 because of the 2 unborn children. Oh, wait. Oh, we have to talk progressive here. Fuck them babies.
Yeah.
They wouldn't consider born yet.
It's an it.
Yeah.
It doesn't know what it is
But
yet.
But yeah, that's fucked up, man.
Gender neutral kids.
76
25
people.
gender neutral kids.
76 people lost their lives because our government said, hey, y'all shouldn't have that much stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it's
No,
completely
it was just
legal.
misinformation,
Yeah.
more or less.
Yeah.
Obviously, we'll never know exactly
It was a
what
control thing.
it was. They were scared. They were militias are allowed in the states, as far as I know, right?
Yeah. No, it's in the Constitution.
right?
Yeah.
And more or less, that's what he was building.
And that's
And he
what
was in his right.
and that's what the Constitution implies. But government officials that don't believe in the Constitution says no, the militias are military, not civilians, and they're fucking way wrong.
Right.
So, anyways, you done with that?
I am.
And I'm done with the ATF.
We got to correct our misinformation
Yeah,
since
we-
we are pro misinformation here.
Yeah, we just wanted to correct that shit. So,
And that was a couple weeks ago. But no, it was a terrible situation. And I've been meaning to rewatch that documentary just to catch myself back up, but I haven't had any interest since I'm
wants to.
addicted to something else now. Addicted.
Okay, so 2 weeks ago, yesterday, I started a diet bet with some dudes at work.
Again,
Did I talk about that?
no.
All right, so when I did that 6 months ago, we did it for 60 days. It was me and two other dudes. One never tried, the other dude did, and he beat me. Good for him, cocksucker. And so it's $100 pop bet. So he won, and then that night we gorged on fucking pizza, and from that point on,
Shaun weighs 400 now.
we both just fucking overate, became fat ass pigs again. So we decided to do it again and to talk about it and whatever. So now there's 5 people involved. So the winning pot is $500, $100 a person, and some fucking idiot bet me an additional 100 on just me and him. So when we get said and done, don't include my money because, you know, it's whatever. I'm going to profit $500 from this bitch because I'm winning it as long as I don't do what I did yesterday again.
Now you can order one of those new braces.
Yeah.
Once you win, right?
I can order like 3 or 4 of them bitches.
Hell yeah.
But,
Give them out as Christmas presents.
yeah, exactly. Here, you get a felony, you get a felony, you get a felony.
Everybody. The whole family's locked up.
Yeah. So, fuck you again, ATF. Anyways, so yeah, so that's actually been going really good. First time neither one of us really took it serious right off the rip, and then he started before I did about 2 weeks, and then I got serious and I'm doing intermittent fasting and eating clean. I'm only intaking about 600 to 800 calories a day. It's kind of whatever because I'm not measuring the meat, the chicken. If I weighed the chicken, then I would have the accurate amount, but I'm just kind of guesstimating. But there's not a lot of calories in that shit anyways. So I'm calorie deficient, intermittent fasting. I'm doing some HIIT working out, and I've gone to the gym twice in the last 2 weeks. So I definitely need to step the gym up. I'm gonna try and start doing the HIIT and the gym every day. So yeah,
You could probably just run the fence line around the perimeter of your compound
yeah,
and do like the whole 45-acre
yeah. But
perimeter.
it's really fucking cold outside.
It is.
I don't want to do that. So I got a gym membership. I just go to the gym.
You could do up and down the driveway.
I could, but it's really fucking cold, and that is pretty steep.
Yeah, it
But-
is. You go up and down that about 15 times, you'd be done.
I'll be fucking. My fat ass would probably be like 4 times done.
But now it's good you started training again.
Yeah.
I need to get my ass back in the gym.
Yeah.
I miss the gym. I'd do it more. I'd do it for stress. Stress is my big thing.
Well, that was another thing too. I got this punch bag I need to hang up.
Oh. Where do you hang your wife from?
Oh, we have all those
Hooks and
hooks and all that shit in our bedroom.
trapeze stuff.
Yeah, it's in
hanging
our
off the
bedroom.
fan. You go,
Yeah. Well, but yeah, I miss hitting the bag.
had a big following. I wanted to do boxing when I was younger because I had long ass arms. I knew I'd probably fuck somebody up if I learned how to box just because of my reach.
That's what I told Cameron.
And I never did it.
Yeah.
But I did Taekwondo as a kid. I did that all the way up to 2nd degree red belt. I was one down from a black belt. And I decided to quit like a dumbass because I wanted to hang out with my friends. And I could have claimed that. I'm a black belt in Taekwondo. Look at me.
Smoke weed every day.
Yeah. No, I wasn't doing drugs then. This was elementary school.
I was. Oh, not elementary.
No, this is like
Middle school.
4th, 5th, 6th grade. I was hardcore in Taekwondo, and then I got expelled.
Kicking some kid in the face when he was down.
Stay down, bitch.
Yep.
And then I Chuck Norris him the next Tuesday. Oh, those Chuck Norris jokes never get old.
Dude, they have been non-stop for like 25 years.
I heard a new one the other day, and I thought it was pretty good original. But the old ones are like, Chuck Norris doesn't do push-ups; he does earth downs.
Yeah.
What's the other one? The Ram one, where he drove the Ram in Texas Ranger, the Ram pickup truck. There was one for that. Something about a Ram and a Ford. I forgot what it was, but it was pretty damn funny. But yeah. So everything's been going good this year so far. We had a good time last weekend for the little birthday shindig.
Yeah.
Had some people come over. It was really relaxed, really chill.
Played bunco.
Bunko. If you don't know what bunko is, it's a really boring dice game that you allow to drink to and hang out with people.
I
And I didn't win shit once again.
I mean, the second time I ever played, and I won. We did pretty good. I think we got $60 out of it.
Damn. I think I've won $60 in 2 years of playing.
Hell yeah.
But I go for hanging out and
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
It's an excuse, though. Hang out with people.
Yeah. So we hosted it here at the La Casa. And had a good time.
Yeah. And we... What was it?
I have no idea.
I just went blank for a second.
And we noticed.
Yeah. We all noticed. We'll skip that. But you mentioned about the ATF. You mentioned about your diet.
Yeah. So the day before the birthday, Connor, my amphibious Chevy driver, he
R&D department.
yeah, obviously we talked about my bitch fest where he fucked up another car in the beginning of January when it flooded here in Georgia. Well, that's not his fault technically, whatever, an act of God. So thank God that didn't go against the insurance. And he got a new car. Did it all on his own, man. I didn't have to co-sign, nothing. Obviously, I spent a whole fucking day with him, going to the banks, getting everything in line, going to dealerships, test driving cars, and ended up settling with a car that we had looked at once already and walked out of a dealership. So
He's got a new baby blue Maserati.
yeah, because Daddy funded it for him. Daddy's money.
Yep.
Actually, no, I mean, he's done everything on his own. So, and interest rate, I told him, dude, finance it on your own without me as a co-signer. If you get anything, this is a 2-year-old car, it's a 2020. I said, if you get anything under 10%, you're going to be golden at your age, 19, you know, having a fairly new job, career, whatever, for 6 months, roughly, he's been there. And, anyways, yeah, so it all worked out. He's a few points under 10%, so that was good. So yeah, really proud of him. Kid's
Good.
doing good. And then to update on that, yesterday he talked to the insurance company and they approved it. So took the wheels and tires off of that car, put it on jack stands in my garage, and the factory emblems and lug nuts and all that shit, and took it to the scrapyard. It was at an auto auction, but took it there and swapped it all out from his old car because he did all blacked out. Powder coated the wheels and the factory Chevy emblems. Those motherfuckers are $130 a pop from GM.
The emblems?
Yes.
Damn.
But you know, we did everything the right way, not just some bullshit. But yeah, they let us swap everything out. So we did all that yesterday, got that done, and then fucking while we were playing mechanic shop here at the house, went ahead and did the brakes on the Tahoe, got that done. Shit's still popping. I think it is my fucking ball joints. And then we pulled Cameron's car in the garage. He came over, and we were going to do that whole sensor shit that he's been putting off in his Cadillac. And you got to take out the fucking
Motor?
basically, you got to take off the catalytic converter. Like, as soon as it comes out of the manifold, it comes to a fucking flange, catalytic converter, flange, and then your catback system. And that shit's right above the catalytic converter.
Awesome.
And we couldn't get his car high enough to be able to get up under there to break those loose, because you know how exhaust bolts are.
Mm-hmm.
Holy fuck. So it was like, all right, well, this was a fail. You need somebody with a lift.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have one of those in my,
Right.
Mac Daddy
In your
garage.
12 bay garage in
Yeah,
the backyard.
fuck you. I knew you was going to say some dumb shit.
Next to the helipad.
Yeah, but
And the go-kart track. And the bumper boats.
no, it's that's behind the basketball goal.
Oh.
Court.
Gotcha. Next to the tennis court.
Yeah. But yeah. So yesterday was fun. A long day, but very productive. Oh, and I got my new driver's license because that expired on her birthday last weekend.
Yeah, it reminds me I need to change my address for mine.
Yeah, Cameron went with me and he did that finally for his. So, in my picture, I smiled in. First driver's license picture I
You're like-
smiled in since I was like 16, I think. Excited to get a license. You know why I've never smiled in them though? Because every time a cop pulls you over, you're not gonna be fucking smiling. So that was my thought.
You should do a smile.
like,
Like, is this you?
This did well.
You should. That's when you go.
Just think, this summer when I shave all this shit off, then be like, is this you?
Mohammed.
This looks like Mohammed. Allah Akbar,
Yeah,
motherfucker.
yeah. Carry on.
Yeah, but I don't know. What else you got?
No, the whole spending IRS and national debt shit's driving me nuts right now.
God dang, I don't even want to talk about IRS.
IRS is right up your alley.
I didn't even want to write that on my paper.
No,
Holy
so you got your
fuck.
30-cent raise, so it bumped you up to your $1 million income.
Dude. So,
So Shaun's gonna owe money,
a lot.
a lot of money.
I've never owed. All right, so let me just start this off with, if you have kids, think about this. When children are 17 years of age, you don't get full credit on them anymore. Full-time students, 17, which is still legally a minor, you don't get full credit. It's like a third. Why?
But it also has something to do with all the tax relief from the $500 here, $500 there that they were giving out.
Mm-mm.
Are you sure it's not playing a factor in it?
No,
Them
they
trying to
were
recoup it?
they were excluded from that. So when they did that originally 2 years ago, we
But you're
couldn't.
supposed to claim that.
What?
Didn't y'all get an additional, like, probably $500 or $1,500 this year? Oh, I'm sorry, this past year for the kids being enrolled in school in federal money? Because this past year, I wanted
2021. You're talking 2021.
early last year we got
No.
something.
We didn't get anything.
I can't remember what the dollar amount was. I want to say it was like $700 for the two kids. It wasn't shit, but it was like, oh, look, free money. Yeah, everything's free.
That was the year before. We didn't get anything last year. But no, it has nothing to do with all that. When Connor turned 17 2 years ago, almost 3 years ago now. So it was 2020. Connor turned 17 that year. When we filed our taxes for 2020, bam. It wasn't that way with Cameron, but it was that way with Connor. We didn't get full credits and looked into it, and they had changed it. So now, 17-year-old, you only get a $500 deduction. You don't get the full $1,800, which is bullshit. And it cuts down on so much you can fucking claim for a kid. And I don't know. That's complete bullshit because you have a kid that's full-time student. You're still paying everything for them like you would. And a 17-year-old, you fucking generally spend more because you're spending gas, insurance. I don't know how you do your household, but, if you're paying for all this shit and extracurricular activities, sports, hey, I want to go to, movies with my friends. Can I have $20 every fucking day? Or I'm going to the football game, every Friday night. All that shit is way more expensive than when they were younger.
Yeah.
How in the fuck am I getting less fucking deductions then, or less tax credit?
I don't know.
It's bullshit.
I wish I knew more about the whole tax system and how it breaks down and works out. It's just,
I
at the end of the day, I just see what I see is what I see, but it's wasteful spending on
their
local, federal, on every level.
Oh yeah,
Every level, there's just wasteful spending. Like, for instance, I live in Rockmart, and they got new traffic lights going up.
Yep.
And I'm like, and they got new sidewalks going in, handicap, at major intersections that have no sidewalk going to them. And I'm like, why are we putting handicap sidewalk, the platforms with the grip pad and all that crap for wheelchairs? I get it, it's there for a reason. But I'm like, it's at an intersection that will never, ever get used by a wheelchair because there's no sidewalks going to it. And I'm like, why are we putting this stuff in? Just little stuff like that, just on a local base. I just see wasteful spending all the time, and I'm like, this is what's wrong. I'm like, they have to spend this money before the year's up, and this is all being done, this November, December. They're jamming all this stuff in because they got to spend that money so they can budget for the following year. And I'm like, it's
So
stupid.
they can ask for the same amount
Yeah.
next year or more.
Yeah, or more.
So because if they don't spend what they asked for this year
Yeah.
from the
They'll
federal,
cut their budget.
they'll cut it.
And I'm like, I get the aspect of it, but if you worked under that, there should be an incentive of some sort.
Well, why didn't we just put that money in the school system? Why waste it on a fucking intersection that's? But and then hindsight's 2020. I'm thinking, why not do it at every intersection? Because you're gonna have to put sidewalks everywhere across this whole country. Because in 2035 we're going to all electric cars, right? And what happens when we can't charge them because we're out of power? Like, California is proven happens all the fucking time. So everyone's gonna have to walk everywhere to work. So yeah, we need them.
Yeah, we need sidewalks. Everybody's gonna be in a wheelchair.
Yeah, exactly.
Electric wheelchairs are the future.
Yeah, but we can't charge them, so you have to.
It'll be solar powered.
Yeah, manual.
It'll be hand powered.
Yeah, exactly.
Charging it as I roll it.
Golly, just think about your forearms after that.
You look like what's his name from Family Guy.
I'm doing side
Joe.
hustle.
All jacked up.
I'm
top.
doing side hustle for everybody.
I'm multitasking.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Oh man.
But no, the wasteful spending was somewhat keeping up with, not say keeping up with it, just looking at the local stuff, and I'm like, this is, it just eats me up.
Yep.
I'm like, if I spent money like that, I'd be broke. Kind of like our country. Kind of like that, right?
Yeah.
But I have been spending a lot of money lately. Business, been spending a lot of money, ordering a lot of stuff. Stuff I missed that I try to claim on last year's taxes. But the new business is going to be taking shape here pretty soon.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully I get you to come over and we start taking some
Shots.
some videos, some pictures and stuff. Got it hooked up yesterday, the mulching head. So that's what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to try to break off and do specialty projects like private landowners on dams and creeks and things like that want to beautify their property. Stuff that you can't get large equipment to. I'm going to get my small equipment to and started playing with it yesterday. What?
Oh, you're referring to small equipment.
Yeah, small equipment down here. We I'm gonna try to work on that. But that thing's definitely a trick. I was mentioning upstairs, like it's definitely not what I was. I'll take that back. I didn't know what I was expecting. I've watched a lot of videos. I've seen a lot of people use that type of equipment, and I don't have the largest piece of equipment by any means. And so I was using the machine to take some trees down at my in-laws' property, and it's not like mow and go. It's
Not like
it's
the bigger
tedious.
shit that you've
Yeah,
used
it takes
in the past.
and just plow through things.
Right.
And I wasn't expecting that, but I was expecting a lot more speed. But it's gonna be a learning curve.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be fun. It's something I enjoy doing.
Something you're not used to, using smaller equipment.
I'm used to using yours.
I was gonna say I've been doing that my whole life.
But no, I sent you a video last week about a guy from a channel on YouTube called Soft White Underbelly.
Yep.
And
Such a weird fucking name.
it is. But
But you think about it, it has a lot. It's deep.
yeah, it's very
I
deep.
mean, talking about soft white underbelly, like that's your soft side.
Yeah, it's your soft side, and it's your most exposed and vulnerable side.
Right.
Is more or less what he's saying.
Right, and that's
And
where
that's what he shows.
Right.
Is he's a photographer. I forgot the guy's last name. First name's Mark, but check him out on YouTube. If you want perspective on life, and I think that is what it has given me out of everything is we could sit here and say that today sucks or my life sucks or life isn't going exactly the way you want it and everything's not fucking perfect and bright and beautiful. You go watch a few of those videos and see how humble some of these people are, and a lot of them are from bad backgrounds. A lot of homeless folk that have some of the wildest stories. That is very humbling because when I hear them talk and I see their expressions, whether they're in a good place now or not, they're happy. And that is key to life, I think, is what I've reflected on in the last few months is trying to make myself happy. And you can't make yourself happy. Well, you can. But you can't You can't fake happiness.
Not to yourself.
Mm-mm.
No, not
I was
at
like,
all.
I could put on a face. I'm like, hey guys, how you doing
And
today? Show up to
society, it's
work.
like, oh look, great, James is
Yeah.
great. Look on his social media, his life is perfect.
Right. And
And then you stand and look in the mirror.
yeah, and all you see is just misery.
Your demons.
Yeah.
Yep.
You see misery. But no, soft white underbelly. I sent Shaun a video from was the Desert Storm? What?
It was the black dude who was a drug dealer, went to jail,
Yeah.
went in the paratrooper army,
Yep. Had all kinds of just
homeless.
Yeah, he's homeless
very
now.
angry.
Yeah.
And it is upbeat and as positive as this dude was. He was like, I'm angry all
He's
the time.
scary as fuck.
Yeah. He's like,
He'd be a scary motherfucker to meet up on the side of the road.
yeah. And he was like, I'm always angry. I'll be angry till the day I die. He said, and I'll hurt everyone around me.
And he tells you his reasons why.
Yeah. And it's crazy, man.
But at the same time, he's happy.
Yeah, 100% happy. As long as you don't
He-
talk
he's,
to him.
he's found that even keel between
Yeah.
just going
And-
fucking
and-
berserk and dealing with society and dealing with people and
Yeah.
assisting and being a good person.
Yeah.
Like he's found that happy medium for him. And I'm
Yeah.
like, that's why I shared it with you. I was like, this guy's stories one is fucking wild. Just to listen
Yes.
to him tell you his stories and his recollection of it and his thoughts.
What was crazy about him was he knew so many statistics and numbers. And then at some point in there,
So he's an intelligent person.
well, very, very intelligent, probably genius level. But he was like, yeah, he goes, just if I haven't mentioned it already, he said, no, I haven't. He said, I retain 90 to 95% of everything I read. He said, so that's why I know all these numbers, just so y'all
He
know.
has a photographic memory.
Yeah. And he goes, all right, so anyways. And then he starts going on. And I was like, that explains why this motherfucker's throwing out numbers. Because I'm thinking, this fucking homeless dude, like, is throwing out all these stats. Like, did you prep for this?
He's read most major publications of some version of a Bible in most major religions. And I was like, wow, while he was in prison.
Yeah.
He said he read the Bible 3 times, the King James Version. He said he read the Quran
Twice. Front to back.
twice. And I was like, holy shit.
No, that wasn't him. That was the Asian dude.
You sure?
Yeah.
Either way.
Yeah.
But
That was the Asian dude. Full
I'm
of
a-
cats.
I wa-
That's a
I wanna put
priest
it-
now. Did you see that one?
Mm-mm.
Okay, then maybe that was him, and I'm mixing them up. I watched a bunch of them after you sent
Yeah,
me that.
they're
I was like,
addicting.
golly, yes, very much.
They're very addicting because people come from all walks of life, and I won't say I had a great childhood. I won't say I had a terrible childhood. I had a childhood that I had, and it was good to me. I could say I had some bad times, but
We can
listen
all
to-
say that.
Listen to these other people, I'm
Yeah,
like, fuck,
fuck.
I had a cakewalk
Yeah.
compared to some of these other people. And that is something that basically humblizes me, and not ever being distracted by just nonsense, just day-to-day activities, getting worked up about stuff. And that's going to help me with my anxiety, I think, more than anything, is having something, not more or less to have a comparison, which it is, but at the same time, I was like, man, life's too fucking short to be wrapped up on stuff for a period of time.
100%.
And I have to tell myself that on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Because one thing will light my little amber, and it'll turn into a fucking forest fire, and then before long, it's consuming the whole world.
Something simple is that fucking infuriates me is why. To get asked why from my kids.
Especially when they start talking about religion.
No. I'm good with that. But I have always taught my kids to fucking question things, and so they learn things. But when I tell them to do something and they fucking ask why, that's infuriating me. And I've popped off 3 or 4 times in the last 2 days with all of my boys. All 3 of them motherfuckers. It's like, why? What do you mean, why? Here, I'll give an example. You tell me if this is true or false.
False already, I already tell you.
Hey, son, I need my trailer. Why? I need it. That's why, motherfucker. Don't question me.
What are you doing with it later?
Yeah, I mean, it's like,
I'm going to put it in my backyard and park it because I know where it's at.
golly.
I was
don't
gonna make
know.
a joke about it when it came out. I was like, "Oh, you borrowing Cameron's trailer again?" I seen it outside.
Yeah, I didn't put it up. I left it out inside of the
You better
house.
put it up before he gets upset and you left it out, so he steals it.
Golly. But and then the other kid, like, hey, what are you doing? I'm going here. Why? Like, what the fuck you mean why? Quit questioning me, motherfuckers. And maybe that's my fault because I've always over-explained things too. I don't know. I mean, my parents didn't because I said so, bitch. I've always kind of explained, you know, the reasonings behind my parenting tactics, and maybe that's why I've encouraged them to question things, and I've over-explained. I don't know, but I'll tell you what. As they're teenagers and adults, I'm gonna beat the fuck out of them now. Every time they say why, but why, but why.
Yeah, I got two little ones.
That lights my
one
embers.
one is like fuck you, another one is like okay. Except they're so far separated in age.
What do you,
Makes it
whatever you
difficult.
say, Daddy.
Yep, and that's why I like it. Okay, hey, go pick up your shit. Hey, go pick up your room. Why? It's just gonna get dirty again. I feel the same way, but your mom thinks different. So
Blame everything on Misty. I'm like, fuck you, Jay.
yeah, no, it's like let's go make the bed. Why? I'm just gonna mess it up later. Why fold my clothes? I'm gonna wear them in a little while. Why put my socks up? I just dump shit on the bed and just go to sleep on top of my clothes.
Right.
I mean, easy.
Yep.
Super easy.
And then get up, get dressed, and look homeless.
Yeah.
Go out into the world.
Yeah. That's the way I like to look. I don't want people to know I have no money.
Oh shit.
But looking homeless is easy though.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I'm
So
doing it
many
right
people-
now.
So many people have faked that. No, you're not.
Yeah. You go rolling to Walmart and like, fuck, how do these people have money to shop? Oh yeah, I forgot. I'm
Remember-
going to work so they can shop.
Remember Norm? He
Yeah.
looked homeless.
Yeah.
I mean, every time I saw him, he looked like he was broke as fuck.
This is
Millionaire.
honestly, yeah, he had money. But me, I stay nasty because I'm always doing something. I don't have nice like when I come here is probably these aren't my nicest clothes, but these are my clean clothes. I put it that
Whatever,
way.
bitch. We've gone out. You've got nice flannels,
Yeah,
nice
no.
dress
We've
shirts.
gone out and stuff. I'm talking about just in general. Like generally, if I'm at home, I'm usually wearing some like ragtag,
Well,
stained, nasty shit.
well, yeah, but how far away from you from home and work? So
Well, I know, but even more so,
you generally
I
work.
always stay dirty.
Right, because you work all the time.
I'm always doing something.
Yeah.
I'm not sitting in a camper and watching dumb
Gay
shit.
porn, jerking off.
Yeah.
Gay midget porn. That's my shit, boy.
Oh, by the way, Shaun did hook me up with a blue pill. We talked about that in the last episode, right? Shaun's my new drug dealer, by the way. ATF, just to let you know.
I
One more
think-
thing to add to his list.
I think we did.
I thought about taking another one this morning. Come on over here.
Wait, well, hold the fuck up.
Yeah. Well, you weren't supposed to be here.
Oh. You and your sister?
Hey,
You and your nephew?
yeah. Come here, little boy. I
Yeah.
got something for you.
Yeah, Uncle James brought a treat. Oh man. So
But no, the house is coming along.
Hell
So we had a hiccup last year. Well, I had my own personal hiccup. And long story short, my neighbor started building.
hold on. So we got a lot of the exterior done, and then when you started doing the walls, I didn't come back over because fuck that shit.
Yeah.
No. And then you were at a whole
Temperature started changing. Sean's like, I don't even work in the dead of heat.
Yeah, no shit. No, as soon as it got cold. But you never asked me to come over either,
No, I didn't.
bitch.
Because
But
it was all little shit.
yeah. So you got to the plumbing under the concrete,
Yeah.
under the
So
foundation.
I'm building a slab house.
Yep. So you got to that point and then froze.
hmm
Go ahead.
Yeah, so I went and picked up all the materials. Well, I ordered all the materials.
Had to paint the picture.
Long story short, and go to start trenching and everything. Because I was gun ho. I wanted to get it in the ground before the holidays, Christmas more or less, and so I could possibly start on putting siding on the house. And every time I went down there, my anxiety kicked in, and it just fucking drove me nuts. Like I was I was trying to make it as best as I can. I'm not a plumber by trade. Plumbing is pretty straightforward and simple. Shit goes downhill.
Lay pipe.
Yep. I wanted to lay some pipe in Shaun, and it's just too complicated. And I ended up taking everything back, so I was gonna hire someone Well, I picked up the wrong material, ordered the wrong material on top of that. So that pissed me off. Took everything back. Went to Home Depot. Returned everything. Was loading the cart up. And as I was picking all the materials out, I had like a fucking little panic attack at Home Depot, and I had to fucking leave. And
That
right
was-
after that, I came here and we
Yeah.
did a session, and I think I was still influenced by my whole little panic attack. If that's what it was, it's just my anxiety got to me.
Yeah.
And then I called a plumber in to get a quote, and I got a quote for like some astronomical number, like a little less than $7,000, to lay some pipe. But the trench was dug. All they had to do was cut and glue and lay everything out to where
Yep.
it goes downhill. And didn't go that route. So I was like, you know what? I can't afford $7,000 for someone for a day's worth of work.
So then you were basically on hold for a few months.
Yep.
Until
About 2 months, until last week my neighbor started building his house, and he was gun-ho about it. He just had a double wide propped on his property about a year ago, and he's been doing his thing, him and his family. And all of a sudden he had some equipment sitting out in front of his property, and next thing I know, he's got a foundation formed up, and he had plumbing stubbed up. And I reached out to him. I said, hey, who'd you get to do it, and what did it cost you, this and that? And his prices were way better than when I got originally. I'm dragging this on a lot longer than I should
no,
have.
you're good.
And I reached out to the company. They said, okay, we'll get back with you. Over the weekend, they sent me a quote back, and the numbers were less than half.
Crazy.
Less than half. And I was like, okay, cool. And then they reached out to me again and said, can we do it tomorrow? Because it's supposed to be raining, and I have a roof over my general
Absolutely.
location. And I was like, yeah, come on. And sure enough, they were there the next morning waiting on me to get down there. I showed them what I wanted, where it went. And 5-6 hours later, I went down there, and they're gone. And everything's in place. And on top of that, which really puts icing on the cake for me on this whole house build, was I was unaware that you could hire your own engineer or inspector. It's more or less it's an engineering firm that he works for. He falls
Right.
under his license, but more or less you get to hire your own private inspector.
Mm-hmm.
After reaching out to this gentleman, he used to work for the county that I live in, and he knows all the people. He left there just recently to go with this engineering firm, and it's going to cost me money out of pocket on top of my,
Permit.
my permit. My initial permit was, we'll say, less than $300.
And that includes the
All the
inspections.
site visits for the inspectors.
Right. So just painting the picture.
Yeah.
So now he's going to have to pay out of pocket, but the ease of.
Yeah, more or less. I think it's about $125 per visit. That could change depending on what part of the mechanicals he's inspecting. Ultimately, it will cost me, we'll just say $1,000 roughly to have this inspector. But the reason I'm wanting to do this now is, one, I don't have the best relationship with the county. They've already bucked with me on my style build.
And you buck back.
I do.
But good, fuck them.
And I wanted someone that would come in, say the county came in. The county comes and inspects my plumbing, and I did it. Oh, it failed. Okay, well, what would you like me to do? Oh, there's a bunch of stuff you need to fix.
Yep. Have a good day.
Yeah.
And they
Calls back, and it's a $50, whatever the cost is for
Yeah.
a reinspection. Well, cool. Now I'm going to change some things I think that he might have
I think.
notated and call him back out.
Yeah.
And here we are again, $50. Oh, it was still wrong.
Yeah, fail again.
Yeah. So I wanted to hire someone that will at least correspond with me and let me know where my failures are at as far as wherever part of the project I'm at.
And that's exactly what you talk to this guy and he would do.
Yeah.
He'd be like, that's wrong, you need to put a T-valve there. That's wrong, you need to put a, whatever. And so then you redo those.
He'll notate what corrections need to be made. You come back out. I'm sure I'll have to pay a reinspection fee, but at least there'll be one and done.
Yeah.
Or two and done, or whatever the case might be.
Yeah,
It won't be a dozen.
That course it would be two. With the county, it could be fucking half a dozen to a dozen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And
I
just
didn't want
guessing.
that. And this gentleman is very familiar with my style build. He's been a part of it. He works for an engineering firm. He's very familiar with it. And the county is not, because I'm building a post frame style structure versus a contemporary or a standard stick built house.
Yeah. Or a barn dominium.
A barn dominium is slang for the term. It's
Yeah.
basically an open shed
Yeah.
that we're gonna finish out the inside. But no, so that's gotten done. Super happy about that. All that's done. I wasn't gonna start compacting dirt today, but I was like, fuck it, we'll come over and do the podcast. I'll do it sometime next week because we spoke about it briefly. My business has picked up immensely, like 100% since the beginning of the year, which I'm super happy of. At the same time, I don't have time to work towards the other business, which is catch-22 on that shit.
I told you so.
Yep. Shaun said it again. But no, at the end of the day, that's the worst case. I said I'll keep the machine for 6 months. If the business stays the way it is, I'll sell it if need be.
Yeah.
It's whatever. I bought it at a good enough deal that I could get rid of it.
At least break even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm content with it.
Yeah.
It's just I want to keep my regular business going.
Hell yeah.
But no, with the inspector, it's been super nice because it's super streamlined. The county, they have like 48 hours to get out and inspect. If I was building a standard built house, that would definitely hold me up. But since I'm getting close to about a year into physical construction, we should have concrete in, I would hope, by early April at the latest. If business continues to do what it's doing now, we should have no problem doing that. And then once concrete's done, Shaun's going to be over helping me hang siding. And we'll start on the interior.
Oh yeah.
And then, of course, it'll be hot as hell again.
Yeah.
But at least we'll be in the shade.
And I'll look up before we get to that point, but I'll make sure that nothing's changed for electrical code, because I did that a lot. That and siding.
And what's good on the soccer team, I have one general contractor that's on the girls' soccer team, and another guy that's a licensed electrician. So
well, never mind. You got that covered.
No, I'm going to have him come in and drop boxes. I'll probably pull wire since that's where all the labor's at.
Yeah.
And let him do probably the final tie-ins and things like that. But I'll probably do the bulk of the labor.
I was going to say the boxes are just 16 inches up.
Right.
And make sure you won't need any kick plates because you're running everything up. So that's a good thing. The little metal plates that go over the 2x4s to make sure you don't nail it.
Most of it will be underground. I'm putting conduit underground.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Make fast, easy runs straight from the box, go into the pad, and shoot up. Especially that'll be more on the great room side of things, just because it's have vaulted ceilings.
So you're gonna drill through the concrete for all that shit?
No, I'm gonna have conduit.
Put conduit. Yeah, but
I have conduit in under the slab already.
Yeah, you're talking about for the home runs, like from power from the panel box to this room. Mm-hmm. But from this room, you're gonna run it all the way around, and then that's it. Okay, all right. So you're gonna run conduit from every fucking home run in every room.
Just about.
That's gonna be a lot.
No, it's only I don't have a mansion, Shaun.
Ah, fuck you.
No, it'll mainly be for the living room area because we have open floor plan, and we want to have outlets in the floor.
Yeah.
On the great room, just for end tables and lights and all that bullshit, and speaker wire and stuff like that. So put surround sound in the living room and outside maybe.
Gotcha. Cool.
Stuff that you could do when you're taking your time and doing it yourself.
Yeah.
I need to keep my face in front of this mic. I'm bad about
doing that. Right. And I'm just sitting here listening and getting conversation and not paying attention to how shitty you
my
sound.
own habit. I still want to get a couch. I've been watching.
What, for here?
Yeah, like a
casting couch.
Casting couch. Why don't you go sit over there, young lady?
Yeah. Whoa, you creepy motherfucker. You're only allowed to talk about little boys.
Oh, sorry.
Come here, little
gay midgets. But no, everything's been good. Been super happy.
Hell yeah.
Everything's been on the upside. I have yet to be to a doctor yet. I planned on going before the holidays, and then shit got out of hand where I wanted to go have all my levels checked across the board. Still haven't done that. I'm going to.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for a week where I'm kind of dead and where I can concentrate on the secondary business because I still haven't finalized all that shit. They did tell me my payment didn't go through though. My first initial payment, my bank draft for tractor payment.
Oh fuck.
They called me like, hey, I noticed it didn't go through because it was actually on our birthday, the 28th, was when the payments due of every month. And I was like, oh, how random is that? And I checked it the next day. I was like, it didn't go through. I said, maybe they're waiting until the end of the month. And the month came. What is this today? The 3rd or the 4th? Today's the 4th. And Then he called me yesterday, like, hey, we noticed that payment didn't go through. I was like, yeah, I noticed that too.
I still got money in the bank. I
Yeah.
noticed.
And like, oh, did you have like automatic withdrawal? I was like, yeah, all that got set up from the get go because I don't have to worry about it. And like, oh, can you give us a payment now? I'm like, yeah, I could, but I'm driving. Oh yeah, we'll call us back in an hour. I was like, okay. That never happened, but I'm looking forward to getting a fucking $50 late payment fee or something because it never failed on my part.
I was gonna say generally businesses are like 7, 10 days, 15 days, something like that. So I'll remind you after this.
Okay.
Call him bitch. So work is slowing down. Shipments are slowing down at Walmart. I just think it's funny every time we reference my job to Walmart. So the industry throughout all the recession and this bullshit administration's never slowed down. And I think because the counterparts of what we make has been through the roof, it kept us going. But now that those prices are starting to come down, we're slowing down. So,
They were trying to get it while it was good.
yeah.
I don't blame them.
No, not at all. It's capitalism. I mean, fucking do it to it. But so yeah, so we're slowing down. So that's what I was sitting there thinking. Oh, great.
You have all kinds of free time to come over and work on the house.
Well, not just that. It's like it's gonna cut back on
Extra income.
spending income to blow on finishing all this shit that I really wanted to start doing, and anything other than that. So I'm sitting here thinking, what the fuck? But so I'm about to start working as much extra as I can until they actually say no more. They already did on the other side of our plant, and that's where my son works, oldest Cam, and so they've got 0 overtime available.
So, in other words, he's gonna be doing firewood.
Yeah, so he's gonna be doing something. But yeah, so they said that, and I was like, oh, this is fucking great. We'll see.
So you said that we started getting some new listeners and some different.
Oh, dude, we're in another country, United Kingdom, so that's 9.
And you said that you can't see if they've been watching more than one episode, it's just location. Like
I can
got a pin on it, and that's it.
No. I can see each episode each country sees, and city and all that. But if we have 3 listeners in Cartersville, and each episode, this episode's been seen twice in Cartersville. I don't know which one. There's 3 listeners, so obviously, I can't see specifics on a listener, but I can see how many times, like out of the country, out of the U.S., Germany has seen the most. I think Germany's at like 9. So to me, it sounds like one person who's watched almost every episode. And then the next highest is
Japan.
No. South America. The fuck was that? Not Serbia. I don't know. Anyways, Dubai is like 4 or 5.
And we haven't gotten any response from anybody.
No.
In reference. We
To your question.
We want to know. I just really want to know.
No one wants to answer you. They said, fuck you.
Well, you asked the question. Maybe
They
they'll
said,
answer to you.
fuck your answer, or fuck your question. So James,
Shaun wants to know.
2 weeks ago when we did this, James asked it, so now I'm going to ask it because I want to know, bitches.
Why do listen up.
Why do y'all listen to us? Why in the fuck do you listen to this? Is it funny? Is it boredom? Is it, I personally know James. I personally know Shaun. I just want to see what dumb shit they're going to say this week. Are we actually funny? Or just we think we're funny? And
we think we're funny. We laugh at our own jokes in the mirror.
So
funny guy. You round face.
Yeah, you round eye. We do have Taiwan. Didn't I already say that? Yeah, said that 2 weeks ago. Or a month ago, whatever the fuck. We got to get back on a weekly basis. Man.
I know.
We're losing time that we paid for this.
I've been thinking about with everything going on, and I'm like, not that it's a giant inconvenience. It is inconvenience. I haven't.
Y'all are inconveniencing us.
I know. But I'm like, okay, I need to make sure I keep time because I told Shaun I'd do this podcast and I plan on doing it.
You told Shaun you mean, bitch, you were like, hey, let's do this. Let's go.
So I talked Shaun into doing this. I'm like, okay, I'm going to stick with it. I'm not going to be like, cut him dry by any means because we have so much money invested in this.
Yeah.
Tons. And that's why he has to go to work and work all the extra overtime for extra expenditures.
Yeah.
But no, I want to stick with it. We were talking about it briefly when we go on vacation, how we're going to do that. And
We can take all this shit.
yeah, we can take all this stuff. Like, we don't take the booms or anything, but we take
Right.
mics
Yeah.
or something. We'll figure it out.
We can take the
We got
mics, the little
time.
stands, the cheap stands that came with it.
And we want to
all
do a
that
beach
shit.
episode, maybe a pool episode.
Yeah, just interview some random fucking
Yeah,
people. we got to come up with some good questions.
Yeah.
Hey, you motherfuckers, y'all got any good questions to ask random people? Email us.
Yeah.
I'll put the link in the fucking.
Or comment
Yeah.
on the page, whatever.
Yeah.
But no, we want to do a live, maybe a live one at the beach. I think
Yeah.
that'd be fun.
So, if you didn't know that, we have a page on Facebook, same name, Sarcastically Serious. So, if you're just listening on a podcast platform, you want to see our faces. You don't want to go to the YouTube. Go to Facebook. It's Sarcastically Serious, spelled the exact same way, and you can follow us there and see our two dumbasses. Also, we post links there for Spotify, blah, 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 all the different platforms of podcasts, but also YouTube. So if you wanted to see that, or you can go to YouTube and just punch in same thing, Sarcastically Serious.
But no, I got a couple of lined questions for him. Like, hey, what do you do for a living?
Yeah.
I don't do shit.
No one at the beach is going to say that shit.
Yeah, they will.
Nah.
No, but I'm going to make a list of them and just go through them. Have
Well,
a few
like, I'ma
drinks,
see-
make him do a shot.
I'm a CEO of Walmart. Oh, fuck. I
Yeah.
got to watch what I say around this dude.
I'm a CEO. But no, I think that'd be fun doing a couple episodes
Yeah.
randomly like that.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting.
We got to come up with some fucked up questions. Be like, hey, look, I'm going to ask you a personal question. I'll give you a shot to answer it. You know what I mean? Like bribing motherfuckers. Like, how many times have you fingered your own ass? Here's a free shot.
And smelt it. Oh God, I was listening to your mom's house episode, and his wife loads up TikToks of just the most disgusting, just raunchy shit, and it was some dude that sounds like extravagant version of the Cheech and Chong guys, like the stoner, like, hey man, and all that shit. I had some dude that looked like he was like ZZ Top's ugly cousin, and he's wearing blue jean pants inside out that have ripped and holes, no shirt on, ass hanging out, everything, homeless as hell it looks like. And some girls interview him, and I'm like, hey, why do you keep smelling your fingers? He's like, I don't know, man. You want to smell my fingers, man? Smell my finger, man. He's like, I was finger banging some bitch in the alley, and her pussy stank, man. But he kept smelling them. I was like, oh my God. And he's like, yeah. She said if she washed it, that she let me fuck her, and I told her I didn't care. I'd still fuck her. I smell my fingers, man. And I was like, oh my God. And it brought back a memory of one girl. It did. I was like, oh my God.
Oh, that's funny.
And yeah. So one time I was having a moment.
This one time in band camp.
We were hot and heavy, me and a girl in high school. I met her on AOL chat rooms. That
That's funny.
kind of shows my age. It's probably one of the last girls I met with. That was a pre-internet, plenty of fish sites and all that crap. We went to AOL chat rooms. Like how they met. Shaun and Charlene met on AOL, which is funny.
You were like, actually, we had worked together already and didn't realize it.
And where did y'all work? Kohl's or something?
Old Navy.
Old Navy.
Yeah, I did that. I worked full time in a car wash during the day, and then I stocked at Old Navy at night because I dropped out young and I was, trying to make money.
Trying to hustle.
Yeah.
But yeah, so a girl came down. We were looking at hooking up. Shaun's clearing his sinuses out.
No, I'm imitating you while you're fucking
And
getting it.
no. And we're doing our thing. I'm kissing her, making my way down, whatever. And I'm like, get down to the navel area, and I'm like, Yep. well, this train doesn't go south anymore. We're going north now, kids. So we start making our way back up, and I'm like, oh, damn. Like, do I even want to do this? And I'm like, wow, she stinks. Like, she stunk bad. I mean, like, bad. Like, she takes the fucking golden trophy home.
Like, gotta go.
Yes. And I think we did end up doing something. I think I finished the job out. I didn't go down south. But I was like, you know what? She's here. She drove an hour here to see
like
me.
that fucking video. Got to see it through, my boy.
Yeah.
Oh, God. No
So
way.
we committed. And I go outside. And this is over off in Austell.
Yeah.
I come out of the room. My brother's sitting there on the couch. And he's just sitting there like, just laughing, just like, what the fuck is in there? He smelt it outside the room.
Oh, my gosh.
And that's what got me. I fucking died. He's like, what the fuck is in there? I'm like, you smelt that too? He's like, yes. And I'm like, oh,
A tuna factory.
my God. It's like one of those giant.
In the middle of
It was
the
like a
summer.
tanker ship that was catching tuna and crashed into the Sahara Desert.
And it'd been sitting there for 4 years.
Yes.
Baking.
And that would have been a good smell. That would have been a good version of it.
God.
And I just remember dying laughing. And I've told this story a handful of times. And I'm like, that smell never gets out of you. I was
Yeah.
like, that smell just burns in your nostrils.
Dude, that's awful.
And her name's Gwenna, by the way. I don't remember her last name. I can't even spell her last name. Gwenna.
Yeah. QW.
But she was a special lady.
Stank.
And we
She was a
we
special lady.
connected a few times after that. And
Ugh.
one time I went to go see her.
You went for more?
Dude.
He was like, I was a teenager. It was
Yeah,
like,
dude.
this was funny. Like, oh my gosh, this shit smells
Maybe
awful.
it was just a bad Tuesday for her or something.
Yeah.
And so I
Was
went
it?
and visited her on a Thursday.
Was
and,
it?
I don't remember. I got all kinds of stories about this girl because we talked off and on like we were never a serious thing. And Jeff, my buddy Jeff, we one day we decided to jump in the car on Friday night, ride up to Woodstock, go to a party, and I was a meter then. I was gonna hook Jeff up with a girl, whatever. She had some friends, you know, that's what guys do. And I get to the party, it's dark. We're drinking on the way there. We're doing dumb shit as kids. Roll up, and I'm like, hey, I see one of our friends I knew. I was like, hey, where's Gwen at? I don't know. She was walking around with so-and-so. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm walking around some stranger's house. A bunch of teenagers drinking, getting high, doing fun stuff. And I see a hot tub, and I'm like, hey, Jeff, how about we get in a hot tub? And he's like, I don't know, man. He's kind of a shy guy. He still is. And I was like, all right. So I kept walking around. And I asked some other people, like, hey, where's Gwenna at? And I'm like, where the fuck is she? Like, I haven't seen her at the party for like 15 minutes. I'm like, it's not like at the fucking mansion or anything. And next thing I know is like, oh, I think she's in the back room with so-and-so. I'm like, what? It's like, yeah. I'm like, okay. I walk off. I go in the back room, small house. I put my ear to the door. I'm like, Gwenna, go away. Gwenna. I'll figure I'd fuck his nut up anyways. Go away. I'm like, God damn it. I'm like, all right, fuck it. Let's go get in a hot tub. So we all stripped, me and Jeff. I don't know if Jeff did, but I stripped down my boxers. I jumped in there. And there was a bunch of dudes in there with girls. And not to toot my own horn, but I think I was a better looking dude than these guys that were in the hot tub. And all the girls were like, hey, what's up? You know, whatever. And I start flirting. Next thing I know, Gwenna pops up. Hey, guys. She's drunk and shit. Looks like she just got rammed by like 5 guys.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, cool. I'm like, what's up? She's like, what are you doing in the hot tub? I'm like, well, I came here to see you. And apparently you were busy, so I came over here to see what else I could drum up.
Yeah.
And, yeah, that night ended bad because I guess the homeowner, the guy that was banging her, come out, and me and her were chatting it up or whatever. And he's like, who the fuck are you? Why are you in my house? And this and that. He, like, loses his shit. Like, I guess it wasn't cool for a guy that didn't go to his high school that was at his house. And I had a buddy with me, and we were just having fun.
Yeah.
And me and him start having words. Next thing I know, he starts destroying shit in his house, like punched a hole through a sheetrock, and just went berserk on me.
Yeah.
And Jeff was just like checking it, like waiting for his boys to jump in or something. Like Jeff's just checking his back, and we had a buzz going. And I'm like, all right, I don't know how this is gonna end up. I was like, we could either get jumped and get our asses handed to us here, or we fucking leave with a buzz and maybe get DUI.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, let's leave. DUI sounds better
Yeah.
as a kid.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that was the second to last time that something happened with her. The last time was I met her up at a gas station just to say hey to her randomly. I was in the area and I hit her up, and we're sitting there at the gas station. You know the area, but it was the gas station at Highway 5 and 92.
Yeah. Yep.
Across from the McDonald's. There's like a BP
Yeah.
or something right there.
Yeah.
We're sitting there hanging out because she lived right down the road. And as we're sitting there, some girls are yelling out the window. And you couldn't make out what they were sitting there just yelling something. And I'm like, what the fuck are they saying? They're like, you fucking whore! You fucking whore! You fucking...
Just you're like, oh my god.
And I'm like, oh, that's her. This is her.
Yeah, they know you.
I was like, oh, so... I got it. Oh, she is a whore.
Yeah.
I thought she just liked to fuck dudes. And that was the last time I talked to her because I was like, wow. I was like, if someone is just yelling out of a car like whore,
Yeah.
like this is not a
Drama.
pretty picture.
Yeah, she is a whore.
Yeah,
And
she
that's why
was.
she
She was a
smells.
whore. That's why she smelled. But she is. Oh God. I don't know. I had to bring that up. It was funny.
Wow, that was quite a story,
Yeah,
James.
it was. But my brother's face.
It was the icing on the cake.
Oh my God.
He's like,
he was just the fact that
he can smell it
he
in the
was
other room.
he was over 30 feet away with the door closed,
Wow.
and he smelled it. He's like, "What the fuck is that smell?" And my brother, I had
You're
to ask
like,
him. If he
here,
remembers
smell
that.
my dick. Tell
Yeah.
me if this
Smell my finger, man. Smell my finger.
Tell me if this
Smells
is
like
what
my
you smell.
ass.
Golly. All right, so I had a first the other day, and I've heard stories from all kinds of people. Dude. Oh, man. It's bad. So it's like headed to work and driving down the fucking road, and I'm like, the fuck was that at the end of my fart, dude? I get to work
Bubblicious.
and go in the bathroom, and there's like this faint wet spot on my underwear. I was like, oh my god. I've never had that happen. Fucking 42 years
So
old.
Shaun sharded himself.
God dang. That was,
I was like, man, you waited way too long to break that cherry.
dude, like, seriously, I don't know. It was just, I was dumbfounded. The fact that
I'm a real boy now.
yeah, now I'm a real boy. Now I shit myself like everyone else. Oh my gosh! So I had to like take a shower in the sink. It was
So
fucking.
Shaun was over the toilet. He's like
How's that go again?
tamping his ass.
No, I was getting fucking paper towels wet. I mean, like I wasn't that fucked up, but it was just. It's not.
Was it running down your leg?
Yeah, no, it wasn't anything crazy. Like I said, it was just this line of wet spot, I guess, where my ass crack was touching the underwear. And, but it was just like, are you fucking kidding me? I have never done that.
And Shaun sends me a photo.
Because I cut out of my underwear this big old fucking spot. I wanted to make sure and get a good distance away from it. He was like, why didn't you just go?
By the way, you need some new underwear.
Uh,
I showed Missy the photo, and I was like, damn, Shaun's underwear looks like a homeless guy underwear.
what do you mean?
It looks all ragged and tethered, like you could use it for a pirate
No,
flag or
it
something.
did not.
It does. Let me pull this shit
No.
up. You can add this photo too, by the way. Everybody that wants to see Shaun's ass cheeks, not his ass cheeks, but his other
Yeah. No, the first question James asked, why
Tell me
didn't
they
you
look
send
all ragged.
Why
Like homeless dude has
why didn't you
nicer
send me a
underwear
pic-
than this.
They're fucking
Look at the-
wrinkled up on the floor.
Look at that. It's all crinkled up. It means it's stretched out.
It's because I gained weight. That was why. That I'm
It's
working
like you
on.
use a mop up a
getting
oil
it
spill.
back down. Fuck you. Oh
I
shit.
use that for the BP oil cleanup.
Yeah.
Like, oh, let me wipe this shit up. Put it back on later.
Oh man.
But no, oh God. I'm just thinking about my brother's face.
What you gonna think about that for the rest of the day?
God.
But yeah, like I don't know. I've had all kinds of dudes, buddies, tell me stories about that shit.
I don't. I have a handful of them.
Right, but it's never, ever like, and then that. And I was like, I was embarrassed. Embarrassed to look at myself in the mirror the rest of the day. Like, you shit yourself, you dumb fuck.
What's bad is when you don't have a place to clean up.
Yeah.
And you gotta like, ride them out for like 30 minutes to an hour because you're fucking in between something or whatever. And I'm like, ooh, gotta clench some cheeks and walk really straight.
Yeah. Yeah, and that
Don't
was,
make any turns.
That was what I did getting to the bathroom. Man.
Yeah, it's just a starting phase.
Fuck you.
Once you hit that age, you start shitting all over the place.
Speaking of age, I went and had all my blood work and all that shit done when I was trying to figure out the whole blue pill thing. And when I went to my last appointment, he said something. And I don't know why I've been thinking about it nonstop. But I'm just one of those things, overthinking it. But he said, I need to go back now and do blood work again. And I was like, why? Excuse me. They did a full workup, but the only thing in their full workup they don't do is prostate cancer. Like,
well, I could check you real quick, Shaun.
yeah, but I was like, okay, why is that? He said, because this is a side effect. He said, but you haven't had any problems like urinating or this, that. I'm like, no. But I'm thinking, that'd be some shit. Go through all this stuff. And it's not like I'm worried I have it, but I'm sitting here thinking now, like, what the fuck? That'd be my luck. I'm going to go and have this blood work, and he's going to come back and say, yeah, you got stage 3 prostate cancer. Cool, I've got a year to live. Man, what would happen? Man, I don't know what I would do. I would have to work my fucking ass off.
Do all kinds of Harley wheelies.
No, but I'm saying I'd sell everything.
Right.
I would sell everything, and I would work my ass off, make as much money as I could for my family before I fucking kick the bucket. And that would be such a shitty way to go because I'm not enjoying it. But I would. That'd be me. I'd work myself to death, literally.
That would.
Way to bring this podcast down.
Yeah, way to go. We're talking about stank pussy and you're worried about dying.
Yeah. I'm not worried about it. It's crossed my mind a bunch in the last 2 weeks since he said that, and I'm like, man, what the fuck? I need to go get this blood pumped.
I wouldn't worry about it.
I'm
It's
not.
like me. I should have had a consider my brother had colon cancer at age 17.
Yeah.
And which is very strange. That's an old man's disease.
Yeah.
I think I forgot what the ratio was of what the possibility of a young person catching it.
It
Slim
was-
to none.
Right, and he was lucky.
Yeah.
Kind of like,
And so he had his thing, and I should have been checked because it's hereditary as hell. No one else in our family has had it. I think my grandfather had a brief occurrence with it, if I understand it right. But I don't know. I don't think it was severe like his was, especially at such a young age.
Yeah.
But I should have had a camera stuck up my butt a long time ago. And David keeps bugging. He doesn't bug me about it, but he does bring it up
time to time.
if something health-wise gets brought up. He's like, have you been checked out yet? I'm like, no. He's like, you need to go. I said, it fucking might be too late by the time you find out. And I said, you're right. And here I am, not getting checked out.
Riding that train.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
I'm worried about that stink pussy.
And where I can find more.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, hey, Misty.
AOL chat rooms.
Yeah. I don't even know if AOL's a thing anymore.
I get a kick out of when people, so my customers, I do digital invoicing, and when I get an old school like AOL at AOL.
Oh.
dot
Oh,
com
so
or net or
AOL
whatever.
is a thing.
Yeah, it's still a thing, but it's
Something.
not what it used to be.
Right.
But no, when people have old school emails, I'm like, fuck, man, I've had like 4 emails in my adult life because I get tired of all the spam. I just create a new one.
Yeah.
And then I get uploaded more spam and I'll create a new one. Oh, I figured out how to clean my inbox, by the way. I didn't like it. And it says, I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. So I went through it, go inbox, edit, select all, mark as read, even though I didn't read all of them. I just get tired of it. So I only have, instead of 8,000 emails, I have like 16. It's great.
So
OCD.
You still got all those fucking emails in there, though.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
They're just
bro.
not they're not notified.
You got to delete them.
I'll start a new email first.
Yeah.
But no, that was some highlight of my last 2 weeks. 'Cause I don't have 6,000 emails waiting to be read.
Yeah, I think the last time I'd seen that, I was like, what the fuck, James?
Yeah.
You got to get rid of that.
It is insane. But yeah. So more about stank pussy. Where can we find some?
The truck stop up the street. There's all kinds of lot lizards
Yeah.
crawling all over that.
It's Speaking of lot lizards, listening to some of those software underbelly prostitution ring things, those are quite interesting. Like, you would think these have like a generic stereotype how they got into it,
Yeah.
and their stories are all over the place. I'm like, wow. I'm like, this person was doing well and just hit a hard patch and drifted far right or
Yeah.
far left or whatever, and fucking just down in the hole now. And they used to be wealthy, and I'm like, this is insane. I was like, people can come from nothing to something and something from nothing.
But that's the same thing like when you see the people that's won the lottery, you know, and they've won, you know, $84 million.
Oh, and I met someone that won the lottery, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, go ahead.
Like
Finish
a big jackpot like that?
Not that big, but yeah.
Well, so you read about these motherfuckers in 5 years, they won 84 million like cash out option or something. And they're broke because they bought a bunch of cars and houses.
They don't,
And-
people that don't have money don't know how to manage money.
Right. And then they're homeless. It's like, what the fuck? How did y'all fuck that up?
Oh,
But-
they used to have a show about that.
Really?
Like, where are they now? Lottery winners kind of thing. Is mostly like over like European, like British.
Yeah,
They had
but
a show about it.
I was going to say, if people are fucked up, they're not going to want to damn be on TV.
Well, no, it shows, you know, most of them are in their highlights, yeah. But no, they had an episode of a woman, I don't know what state she was a countrified woman. She played the lottery, had a mediocre job, lived in a single wide. And so what she ended up saying was she won X amount of dollars. She went and bought a Lamborghini, and she bought a double wide and put it next to her single wide, so now she has a triple wide. And then she bought another trailer that she connected a hallway to with this other trailer.
So she made a mansion out of trailers.
Yeah, matching all the trailers, and she still drove this Lamborghini. Like, she would say, "Oh, I do like 100 down this gravel road in a Lamborghini," and I'm like, "That's exactly why you're going to be broke in 2 weeks."
Yeah.
But to the
You met a lottery winner.
lottery winner, which is really strange. So I had a customer come in, drop off a vehicle to have work done, and I noticed who she was. I didn't know who she was. She looked familiar. So she worked at a local gas station not far from me. When I used to go to the gym every day, I'd stop in and grab a drink or energy 5 hour. And she's like, "I know you." I was like, "Oh yeah." She's like, "Oh, I used to work down at Dudes or whatever the hell the name of the gas station was."
Bubba's.
Yeah. I was like, "Oh yeah, you are familiar." And well, when she pulled up, she's bringing in her granddaughter's car, who we're converting for, and she's driving a brand new Cadillac, a new lifestyle. It's the same color as my truck, so it's that ivory looking color.
Yeah.
Old man color, old woman color. I was like, "Cool." I was like, "Wow." I said, "You worked at a gas station, drive a Caddy. Must be nice." And then when they came to pick it up, I was going over the vehicle with them, and from talking to her briefly, that was her second husband. Her first husband died of cancer. And we're sitting there talking, and we started talking about the car. I'm like, "Yeah, I want my wife to get one of these." I said, "But they're just out of our price range because we just bought a new truck, we're building a house." He's like, "Yeah, we wouldn't have this either, but so-and-so won the lottery." I'm like, "Oh, really? Cool." And I wasn't going to ask him anything. I was like, "That's cool. You know, if you want to scratch off maybe, you know, whatever amount of money."
Yeah.
He's like, "Yeah, $5 million."
Damn.
And I was like, "Cool. You need any more grandkids?"
I got you, boo.
Yeah. But yeah, she won. He said he won $5 million.
Wow.
And they've been traveling, just spending it.
I was gonna
Because
say,
she's older. She's in her 70s, maybe
right.
80s.
At that age, like you could
Spend all of it and be fine.
I like if you had kids, like just 50 grand each.
Yeah, something.
Yeah, I mean just something. That's decent.
Sewed away to where they're age appropriate, to where it's not like, "Hey, 18, here you go,
Right,
have
but
fun."
if they're grandparents, obviously the kids are age appropriate. So, or the grandkids. I mean, fuck the kids. Like if y'all are doing okay, set something up for the grandkids and go blow the rest of it and live it up.
Yep.
Man, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, but I thought it was kind of cool. I was like, "Really, $5 million?" I was like, "Holy shit!"
I
said,
wonder if
I'll
that
buy
was
everybody a me and Larry were talking about it. I was like, "I'll buy Shaun and Charlene Cadillacs, my mom, and
Yeah.
just buy everybody
Yeah.
a Cadillac. Yeah, we'll be Cadillac crowd."
Damn. Yeah, so Cameron drove Connor's new car, and Connor's old car and Cameron's Cadillac both had the same motor. Connor's new car is the Premier Edition, so it's whatever. It's got the bigger motor. And Cameron's like, "Let me drive it." I was like, "Dude, you better be fucking careful." He drove it, came back. He was like, "Man, I wish my car had that motor." I was
So
like,
dumb.
"Yeah." And then he's like, "Hey, you want to trade rims?" I'm like, stupid.
So dumb.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm glad his car doesn't have that motor.
Yeah.
He said that's the one that everyone does.
It was funny.
Exhaust
And
and
this is
this
not
and that
me beating up on you, Cameron. It was funny. I was talking to Larry a couple weeks ago after you come over and we worked on your truck and all that crap. And me and Larry were talking about you, and we're talking about how well you're doing financially, and life, and just talking about the kids more or less, and how everybody's grown up, and where the fuck does time go more than anything.
No shit.
And he was like, "Yeah, Cameron was sitting up here talking to me while I was doing something up at Larry's house." I was like, "Yeah, this is why I want to do this year." He's telling me his yearly plan, I guess, his ideas.
And that was this year.
Yeah, he was talking about what he wants to do financially. He wants to pay this off, pay that off, and all this other stuff. Then he's like, "Well, yeah, I'm gonna go buy this other truck," and we're showing Larry, I think, a photo. I think that's how it went. And he's like, "But you said you wanted to pay everything off and build a house and build a shop and do all this other shit. Why do you plan on doing that?" He's like, "Well, I'm gonna do that too." And then Larry's just said he laughed and shook his head at him. I'm like, "Yeah," I said, I know it's hard to tell a fucking kid his age with his mentality that that's not how shit works. Like when Cameron was in the military, he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get out, I'm gonna buy some property, I'm gonna build a house." I'm like, "Yeah, that looks fucking awesome on paper. If you could do that, fuck yeah."
Yeah.
I said, "But I'm gonna tell you how it's really gonna happen. You're gonna get out, you're gonna be broke as fuck for a while." I said, "Because you don't go in the military to make money." And we went on and on and on. And I said, "I love your ideas." I said, "But I'm gonna be real with you." I said, "That shit ain't gonna happen."
Yeah.
I said, "Look at me." I said, "I'm mid-30s."
Look at your dad. He's a piece of shit.
Yeah. And I said, well, I have talked about that. Last time Cameron came over and we had a little heart-to-heart, and I was telling him, I said, "Look at your parents." I said, look at what y'all had as growing up." I said, "Y'all probably didn't miss out on much." I said, "Y'all probably had mostly everything you wanted within reason." I said, "But look at what the struggles your parents went through."
Yeah.
I said, "One of those reasons that," well, he was talking about having another kid. He brought it up briefly, and I said, "Look," I said, they had all of y'all up front." I said, "Yes, they're in their 40s now, and most of y'all are grown up, and they get to live their 50s and 60s, kind of like what me and Missy did in our 20s."
Yeah.
I said, "It's kind of reverse role played." I said,
Be at the bar with 21-year-olds.
Right.
Let's go, bitches.
Yes, fireball, bitches.
Oh, fuck you. Oh, yeah, then I would.
But
Fuck
he
it.
brought it up. I said, "But look at all the struggles." I said, "Your parents struggled their asses off for
Yeah.
the first 10 years of all of y'all's lives."
Yeah, no
I
shit.
said, "They struggled." I said, "Financially, they had hardship."
Yeah.
I said, "I saw it from the outside. I didn't have any kids. But I'm like, why the fuck are they always broke? Why can't they always go out and do stuff?"
Look at these 4 motherfuckers.
Yeah. And I said, "I'm gonna tell you this." I said, "You need to wait until you're financially secure to until you have another kid." I said, because I said we waited several years. Were we ready? Probably not, but we did anyways. I said, "But I will tell you this." I said, "The financial freedom that you'll have," I said, "is the best advice I'm gonna give you."
Yeah.
I said, "Wait until you're financially somewhat stable
Yeah.
and know what you want out of life before you go out and have another kid." I said, "Because that second kid, if you think that first kid created fucking issues between you and your marriage and money and all that other stuff, that second kid," I said, "it's not twice as bad. It's like 4 times as bad."
Yeah.
And then it just duplicates from there.
I just think it's crazy how people plan it. Like, 'cause for us, it was God's plan. I mean, 100%. Like, on birth control, she's pregnant. Like, what the fuck? I mean, so it was just, between her being fertile Myrtle and me being Johnny Appleseed, it was a lose-lose. Like, we had sex 4 times.
Since marriage.
No, but it's just, to me, it's crazy, man. Just how I hear people planning it and like doing things to have a kid. I'm like, I don't know.
It's just the catch of it. Some
Yeah.
people that want kids can't have kids.
Yeah,
People that shouldn't have kids have all the kids.
yeah, that was us.
But no, it's like, for instance,
And then the motherfuckers that's going to the clinic and throwing them away.
yeah,
I think it's crazy.
you're getting all your injectables from them.
Yeah, there you go. Back to that.
But no, I was telling him, I was like, "Just take your time, man." I said, "One, you're young." I said, he's like, "Oh, I want to get them all out of the way, this and that." And I'm like, "I get that." I said, live life. I said, add another kid. I said, it's going to take that much more time away from you, your
Everything.
relationship. I said, all that stuff. I said, I thought I knew what it was to raise a kid, kind of. And I've told this to many people. When I would take the kids, I'd take one or two or all of them sometimes and keep them for the weekend, this and that, and, all that crap. And I was like, oh, yeah, I know what parenting's all
End
about.
of the weekend, you're like, fuck this.
Right. And when the first one came, Abigail came, I was like, what the fuck? I don't have time for shit.
Yeah.
I was like, you literally can't turn off your radar for this kid until that little asshole's asleep.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow. I said, wow,
And
this
even
is something.
even then, you're thinking
Yeah.
about the kid.
Yeah.
And what they're going to do and their struggles.
The
and their
mental
future
attachment that's
yeah.
attached to it just never turns off. And it's like me, it's like when we go to the beach and we drink. I could drink a whole bottle by myself, but mentally, like there's a block there to where my body won't allow me to get that way.
Well,
And that's what's strange because I've done it multiple times. Not that I anticipated getting drunk, but I was waiting for that good buzz just to relax and hang out. Kids are swimming, having fun.
Yeah.
No, I can't.
Yeah.
I got that far from it, and it's like, sorry. Keep drinking. It doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
But I was telling them, I said, the whole planning thing, you can plan for it, but the only thing you can plan for is your plan not going to plan.
Right. Yeah. No shit. And that's a
100%.
fact.
Because I could say what I planned out for the last 5 years.
And then show of what actually
I
happened.
could show 5% that actually went through
Right.
according to my time scale that I had planned.
Yeah. It's crazy, man. It's crazy how nothing. I mean, good or bad. I'm not being negative with that. I mean, shit, you planned it to do this and it didn't do anything near this and you're totally blessed and everything's great and happy-go-lucky. And then vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
And my dick knocked in the dirt 300 times. But
Right.
it's crazy, though, man. And that's why I was trying to tell, it was Connor the other day. I was like,
Pull
dude,
out.
Well, and he was just thanking me for, just helping him through all this shit and dealing with the insurance and the, him financing his first car and like I'm kind of guiding and helping and trying to not say, here, let me do that for you. You know what I mean? And it's hard for me because I am that person. My hair's smooth. Let me do it. But
I got shit to do. Get the fuck out of the way.
yeah, but it's taking too long. Let me hurry up and do it. But so anyway, he was just saying thank you for all this, whatever, blah, blah.
Everything.
Yeah. And I was like, dude, I said, something that, if anything, that, because he was like, thank you for teaching me this and that. I said, if anything, the main thing is how you get back up, period. How you get back up, how you handle getting knocked down. I said, because life's going to have its ups and its downs, and the ups could be fucking blessings beyond belief, and the downs could be awful, and then it might not be as bad either way. The main thing is when you get knocked down from that platform you were on, how you get back up and how you handle it. I said, that's what matters more than anything. I said, when you get up here and, you're not humble anymore and you're being taking everything for fucking granted and all that, yeah, people can get caught up in the moment, and I can see that. When you get your shit knocked in the dirt and you're trying to get out of that hole, or you're not, or you're stuck in that hole, or you're digging deeper, or you're blaming everything or everybody, you become a negative motherfucker, like that tells more about anything. So how you get back up, that's what makes a fuck, and that's what really shows. So just make sure you have dignity, honor, morals, values then. So, I don't know. That's what I thought. That's my parenting advice for the year. I'm done.
Check. All that checks out.
So, I don't know. Crazy.
What other subjects did you want to cover?
That was it, man. It was pretty much, I guess,
I was going to say something about old and new friends.
I don't have any friends.
Yeah, we know that.
Because I'm an asshole.
But no, as life goes, your ideas and your thoughts and things like that change. And unfortunately, that follows with friends and friendships and relationships with people that you consider friends and family and people that you enjoy hanging around. And that's what, how to word it. Obviously, I haven't put a lot. I put thought into it, but how to express it. But no, having older friends, like one of my only older friends I have is Jeff. He's a really dear friend of mine. We've done a lot of things together. We've had a lot of fun, and he's one of the closest people to me. One of the oldest friends I have in Georgia that I still stay in contact with. What? Was I expressing that too far out?
I got shit.
Oh, okay. But no, all I was gonna say was,
You want to pause it?
no, I'll talk to myself. And I hear Shaun's 455-pound. Oh, hey, Shaun.
Ooh.
You made it back.
Man.
Did you change your underwear?
No.
Yep. So I started rambling. I was like, oh.
You're like, I'm going to cut this shit
Yeah.
out.
Shaun will edit this shit out.
Oh, yeah.
We were at an hour and a half
Shaun's got
when
two.
you left.
All right. So it was something I was sitting there thinking about, and we brought it up, but we didn't talk about the part I wanted to talk about.
Go ahead,
the
Shaun.
taxes.
Yeah.
So I went sideways on a rant about the whole 17-year-old thing. And that's bullshit in itself. But I owed this year a lot. And I've owed, generally throughout the years, like I claim 9 and 9 on my taxes. So 9 on federal, 9 on state. And that was the most I can claim without filing exempt. And the reason for that was pay them less taxes to hold through the year and then give me a reward at the end of the year.
Mhm.
Oh, look, you overpaid. Here's some money back.
Mhm.
And fuck them. I want my money now. And if I owe you at the end of the year, I'll pay you. But seeing how we've
Here you
had
go.
so many dependents through the years, that's worked out great. I mean, the more money I've made and the higher tax brackets I go into, the less my return is. Well, the tax bracket I've been in for the last 5 years has been the same all the way up until this year. This year I got put into, I went from a 12% to a 22%. And the reason being is write-offs. I realized that last night. Oh. So with the write-offs, up until last year, or this year, whatever it is, now you have to hit 13,000 per individual before any write-offs deduct, unless you're married. And if you're married, it's 26,000.
And what if you filed separately?
It's worse. If you file separately, I don't know.
So I've done both every year when I used to do my own taxes.
Yeah.
I would do it both ways to see which way it worked out better.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously I had to go towards whatever.
Everything I've ever looked
Give me a
at
better
filing
return.
separately has hindered or hurt, simply for the fact of income ratio and I don't know. I mean, it's something we can look at, but I doubt it would change anything. But so doing the numbers and the crunch in the last couple of days, it's like that's what I realized changed drastically. So I think it's like 83,000 after everything as total income. Anything, up to that much, you were in the 12%. As soon as you exceeded that much, then you were in the 22%. And so if you took my income, obviously deduct the 401k out of it because that's not included, and then deduct all medical expenses out of it, and then deducted any write-offs other than medical. For some reason, it always knocked me down to around that 80,000 mile or 80,000.
What are you writing off besides mortgage interest and shit like that?
Vehicle interest, because we buy a new car almost every fucking year.
Mm-hmm.
Not new, but you know what I mean. And then you can write off things like for your businesses, stuff like that.
But you probably have what, half dozen things
Yeah.
like worthwhile.
Yeah, not a lot, but so anyways, usually medical is a big kicker for us because of, Kylie, and the allergies and all that shit. And then kids when they get hurt, it's always racked up. Uh, Anything to do with like dental shit like that, braces. Every one of them's had fucking braces. We're in the last set now, but so all that shit, man, has always been whatever. But since they went to this $13,000 thing, and if you're married, 26,000, I'm not hitting that 26 grand. I mean, it's just, and that's a crazy number. I mean, in some of the years where we've had up to, we're all generally healthy, right? Kylie's got the allergy shit going on, but besides that, we've always hit around the 20 to 25,000 mark with interest for a vehicle, with house interest we've paid. Oh, that's another one. You know, regular medical shit. But yeah,
It's funny because I've never written off, besides business stuff, personal stuff, I've never written off interest on cars or anything like that. I've
Yeah.
never done that.
Absolutely do it, and your house interest. Absolutely do it. Well, you're not gonna do that because you're building all out of pocket.
Right. But no, I get to write off my camper.
You get to write off your camper. You get to write off. Well, the tractor will be a separate business. So never mind. So, but yeah, I mean, it infuriates me that they've raised that, and they're like, "Oh, we're making this so it's better for you." No, it's not. Not at all.
Making it better for lower income.
It's better for no, not even that. Because even then, a married couple, they can't write anything off until they hit 26K.
But you're at a different tax bracket though.
Now I am.
Yes, now you are. But I'm saying, what is the prior tax bracket look like now? Are there,
It's still
is
the same.
Still the same.
Yeah, it's still the same. It's just they're at a 12%.
Gotcha.
So the only thing that changed was
So physical tax code didn't change.
no.
Okay.
So what? And I thought it did, but what actually changed was them raising it to 13,000 individual or 26,000 for a married couple, and we're not hitting that 26,000. So everything.
So did they raise it, or you just entered a new tax bracket?
No, they raised.
So they did change tax code then for 2023, right? Because you're confusing me now.
All right. So if after all my deductions, my total income, then all my deductions, I'm under that $83,000 income mark, I'm in a 12% tax bracket. Okay. If I'm over that, I'm in a 22% tax bracket. All my deductions previously, because I only made like $8,000 difference between last year and this year. All my deductions would normally get me under that $83,000 tax bracket. Now, since they've changed your deduction to $13,000 per individual or $26,000 for a married couple, I'm not exceeding that $26,000. So all my deductions are not counting.
Right.
So
I know what you're talking about now.
So with my $8,000 I've made, plus I'm not getting any of those deductions, which would normally be 20 to 25 grand. So that's putting me about 30 something thousand dollars more in income. So now I'm all the way to fuck up here, and I'm clearly in that next tax bracket. So that's where I'm fucked
Gotcha.
because they changed that. So yeah, so that fucking sucks. Bad.
Yeah. Especially when you didn't see it coming. It's bad if your CPA would have been like, "Hey, this year you're gonna be here."
Yeah.
But no, it's like, "Hey, where's file?" It's like, "Oh shit."
Yeah. So and so normally we would get 1,000 to 4 or 5 grand back, and we have the last 5 years. I owe $6,000 this year. I owe $6,000. That's fucking nuts. Fuck our government. Let's go fair tax.
I'll be curious to see how mine turns out this year. Because I ended up making more than I thought I did. But I also had an extreme amount of write-offs.
Yeah.
An extreme amount. Well, I say extreme. Almost half.
Well, that's good.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm just worried about red flags and getting audited and so on, which all my stuff's legit, so I'm not worried about
Yeah, I
that
was going to
sense.
say, fuck it. You're
It's
good.
just the headache of having to
Yeah.
I've been audited once, and
I've never been
it wasn't
audited, but
legitimate because I was cheating the tax system. Like,
You were?
Yeah,
Oh.
at the time. And so I was like, oh, sure. But now all my stuff's legit. I got paperwork for everything.
Well, I use the
But
easiest
before,
thing,
when I got
TurboTax.
audited, I'm like, bro, I don't know what happened to those receipts fucking for 10 grand.
Yeah.
Kind of deal.
So my mom has my grandmother, her mother, did taxes for a living. Anyways, she taught my mom a lot, and then she had taught my mom how to use TurboTax and how to do the deductions on TurboTax because a lot of people don't. So my mom does it all. It's all legit, and it's through TurboTax and punching in real numbers, and we save receipts for all that shit. If not, we have bank statements to where we paid this doctor's office, that doctor's office, etc. So it's all legit, and it's through TurboTax. So if I ever get audited, I don't give a fuck. But the thing is, man, it's like holy fuck, them raising that write-off level.
Pay off every quarter, pay a little bit extra.
I don't know
Go and
what
pay it
we're
off the
gonna
rest
do.
of the year.
I don't know what we're gonna do.
No reason to pay a lump sum, just
But-
make quarterly payments.
But I know I'm gonna go and change, and that's another thing. You can't do deductions anymore. It's 1 or 0 when you're W-2. They changed that a few years back, and so I can't go in there and say, "Oh, let me do 4 or 5." I can't no more. It's 1 or 0. So that's bullshit.
Is that state by state or nationwide?
That's federal and state.
Interesting.
So our federal government.
I don't
fucked us
keep
again.
up with it too much.
You don't have to. You're 100% self-employed.
Well, I know, but I used to semi keep up with that stuff. But there's so much gray area on taxes, and I would like to find a real, like, my CPA's fine. She does her job. I haven't been audited. I end up paying every year because I'm self-employed, of course. And I found out, interesting too, through your stepfather-in-law, that when you're self-employed, when you pay federal and state, none of that goes towards Social Security.
Yep.
And I was unaware of that. I thought whenever you put in for state, however it works, I'm very unfamiliar with tax code and how all of it works out. But he's like, yeah, he was telling me what he gets as his pension and his Social Security and things like that. He's like, how much have you put back? I was like, I have no idea. I said, I don't know nothing. I was like, he's like, well, what have you paid the last few years? I said, I paid my taxes. I paid my federal and state every year. Oh, well, you're supposed to send X amount of money to Social Security based off of whatever your income is. Like, you just do like a percentage, that's the simplest way to do it, is like a straight percentage off of your income. I'm like, really? I said, I thought that was like included like a we'll say 2% of your
Separate
income,
line item.
blah blah blah. He's like, no. He's like, you're paying Social Security and your employer will pay Social Security. They'll match it
Right.
in most cases. So really, he brought up the IRS website and he showed me, from
I pay a ton to Social Security.
he showed me, like, it has a line item list, like your name and everything. Like, it's looked well organized on Social Security website. Surprisingly, it's a government website, but it showed every year from his first employment that was registered from like
100.
1968 or something like that was like his first legitimate job, I think, maybe. And it showed how much he put in that year, and then it showed every year all the way up to date, and it showed a few years where he skipped, where he was self-employed and some other things, and it showed what your expected Social Security will be at retirement age. Obviously, he's already retired, but he's like, have you looked at yours? Like, no, I didn't know you could do that. And he's like, all right, we got to set up an account and all that shit. He's like, so you haven't put nothing back the last few years? I said, no, I didn't know I had to. Like,
Right.
this is something I was just, mind
Oblivious
blown.
to.
Yeah,
Right.
like, I had no clue. Like, I thought when I paid my taxes, a percentage goes to it, and
So you put money to it now?
not as of yet, but I will be. I'm gonna talk to
Why?
the CPA about doing it. What, for the Social Security?
Yeah.
With the general concept that hopefully and maybe it'll be there when we need it. Generally, honestly,
I mean,
that's my easiest answer I can give you. Obviously, I don't know if it'll be there when we get there, I
They,
like the
they
idea.
said it wouldn't be here now, and
Yeah.
it's still here. So
Right.
I'm shocked with
but
that.
it's also just floating off of fake money.
Yeah, 100%.
And I got a stat for you too about money. But he told me that, and
My bank account.
Misty pulled hers up, and because I guess she had registered at some point, she don't remember. But I had to set mine up. They send me an email, but I wanted to go back and look and see. And what they do, they base your Social Security off, and this is what Gilbert told me. and he sounded pretty confident about it, is they pick the best 3 or 4 years. So we'll say you leave Walmart making 6 figures, right?
Yeah.
And so the last 3 years you made 6 figures.
Yeah.
Your Social Security is being based off the best 3 or 4 years of your life.
I was gonna say the
Whether you're making $10 an hour or $100 an hour.
Now, is that based off yearly income or my
Of your lifetime?
I'm saying because every year I bring home more than
I think it's
that.
gross. I think it's based off gross.
Okay, so it's gonna be fucking astronomical because before my deductions, I'm over that. After my deductions, I've been right under the 83. Well, not this year, so I don't know.
But no, when he told me that, I was like, wow. I said, I would have. I said, if you didn't mention this, I would have went the rest of my life and not maybe even thought about, gave it 2 cents of thinking about it. Like, oh, I paid my taxes. Like, we're good.
Well, my whole thing.
I would still have a Social Security technically when I get to that age, but it would be,
zero payout.
Yeah, it'd be like $200 a month.
So my thing with it is this: if Social Security really is going to deplete, and they've been saying it's going to for the last 20 something fucking years, they need to do a cutoff date. I think we just need to go to fair tax and be done with it, but they need to do a cutoff date. So, like, hey, starting, next year, you turn 18, you're not going to pay Social Security because it's not going to be there when you get older.
Right.
So,
They won't do that.
I know they won't because they're greedy as fuck. But to be honest about it, they should. Then everyone from the year previous down, they keep track of the money and it goes there. But they keep pulling out it, borrowing money out of it. Whatever. It's such bullshit. It's all a scam.
But I heard a weird stat from. I know you're not huge on podcasts, but you listen to a few. Are you familiar with? I'm gonna draw a blank now. Damn it.
Look it up.
I'm going to. Either way, he was mentioning he's very well informed, and his stats are usually spot on. He's not putting out bullshit.
Yeah.
Approximately 40% of all printed money was printed in the last 2 years.
Wow.
40%
That's crazy.
of all U.S. currency.
I wish they would audit the currency ratio for the U.S. Because if they would and get it up to date, then our exchange rate would be fucking nothing. It'd be nothing.
Oh, it's garbage. Obviously, it's great in some scenarios, but the euro is higher than the dollar.
Yeah, but
It has been for
yeah,
about
but
4 years
but it's
now.
like every U.S. dollar to a euro is like you gain.
Like 75%.
No, it's not.
You
that
gain
much.
a quarter. It used to be.
A
The last time
quarter.
it went.
A quarter.
Yeah.
Yeah, not 75%.
Right. A euro is 75% of the American dollar.
Yeah, so one American dollar equivals to $1.25 or 1.25 euro.
Adam Curry. You
Adam
should look
Curry.
him up. He
Yeah.
has a lot of good technical information on his podcast, and he goes off the deep end sometimes
Yeah,
with like random conspiracies, but it's entertaining.
yeah.
But he was one of the first guys that did a podcast from back in the 90s.
Right on.
But he has a lot of good information. He was on Rogan, and when he spat that out, I was like, let me look this shit up.
You're
I
like,
was
hold
like,
up.
wow,
Damn.
that's true.
Yeah.
40%
Wow, that's crazy.
printed. Backed by what?
Nothing. Air. That's nuts,
Backed by
man.
a promise.
Yeah. Backed by lies.
hmm
I mean, that's all it equivals to. But yeah, man, so we're fucking dumbfounded on this whole tax thing. It's just like, wow. It was definitely a slap in the face.
I bet.
But
It's a chunk of money.
Yeah.
Especially when you've been cashing out the last few years.
yeah.
Here
I
and
mean,
there.
and not even that. Like, it'd be under $1,000. I'm good with that. If I broke even at the end of every year, I'd be great with that.
Mm.
And if I knew,
If we didn't have taxes, I'd be great with that too.
Yeah.
Income tax. That's
yeah, fair tax is the way to go.
And Larry's brought that up to me a few times. My father-in-law.
We talked about that on the podcast once.
Yeah. And I've read a few chapters into it, like every major book that is somewhat worth reading. I'll read a few chapters and put it down, never pick it up again. But I have been meaning to read the entire book and see what all it covers. But to summarize it, it's more or less the only tax that you'll be spending is on final purchases to end users.
The end consumer. Yeah. And
For
and
instance, if you bought groceries, bought a car, bought light bulbs, bought whatever.
bought a house.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And that's technically how it is now, in a sense, because
if people write
in a corporation setup.
yes.
Because,
Yeah.
for instance,
So if they do the
if I went to
use the
Walmart,
tax code.
we'll just say Walmart was a wholesaler,
Yep.
and I'm a retailer, and I went and bought T-shirts from you. Okay, well, I bought them for you for $5 a piece,
Right.
not $5 plus 7% sales tax.
Well, that's only if you use your tax exempt ID.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then I would buy them. I wouldn't pay taxes. Well, then I would sell them to your daughter. Kylie comes in, buys shirts,
Yeah.
and she would end up paying 7%.
Right.
That's technically how it is now.
But
Well-
you still have to write that and claim taxes on that and pay at the end of the year a certain amount.
Correct.
It's not
but,
the 7%.
But the tax I collect from her is what I use to pay it with.
Yeah, no, you end up paying a little more. A little bit more.
Okay.
So
I haven't as of yet.
well, if you sat down and crunched the numbers, it should equivalent a little bit more because you're using the tax exempt. But not anything astronomical. I'm talking like a
Percentage.
less than a percent. So if we're talking a 7%, you charged her, you would pay actually less than a percent on that. And that's it. Benefits of you not paying that 7% up front. That's the way it works. But fair tax, I agree. End consumer. The end consumer should pay it and no one else should. Because it's the same good being, this downed tree gets milled. And then it gets sold to a lumber yard. Then it gets sold to a retailer. Then the retailer sells it to a wholesaler. Or wholesaler, then a retailer. Then the end consumer buys it. No. Then the contractor buys it to build the house. And then they sell it to a bank. And then the bank sells it to the end consumer. It shouldn't be paid 7% all through those processes.
Right.
It should just be the end consumer, the homeowner. I agree with that wholeheartedly. But, it is what it is. We got this fucked up system here.
Right.
So,
But I would like to see them to make that practical. We'll just say in one state. We'll just say pick one large state's Texas. So we use that as an example. Texas, we're going to implement this. If you're a resident at this starting date, this is what you pay.
yeah.
Obviously, there'll be a bunch of confusion
Yeah.
because you'll have
'Cause the
new
IRS couldn't
residents.
touch.
Yeah, it'd be so much bullshit involved with it. I'd be curious to see how it would play out in the long run. We'll just say like a 10-year span on how it physically affected our capabilities as a government to operate still and as just citizens of the U.S.
It would
financially.
I think the government would raise taxes on the rest of the states to offset the deficit of not getting that income. I think it would.
I think if we just had better oversight of money being spent, we'd be better off.
I think if we just had transparency, period, from them, we would be better off. But we don't. We never will. It's only going to get worse. And that's not being a Debbie Downer or negative Nancy or whatever the fuck you want to call it. It's just real, man. It's true.
Right.
I mean, I started reading this conspiracy theory book your sister got me for Christmas. And some of it's factual, but if you look it up, it says facts and fiction stories. So it's kind of hard to differentiate the two. And the portion that I'm believing is 100% fiction is the whole shit with the aliens. But
And do you believe in aliens? Your religion you're holding on to?
no, not at all. I mean, who's to say our creator didn't create other beings on a different planet? I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's just not in our Bible because,
Right.
But so I'm open-minded to it, 100%. I'm not closed-minded to it. I'm not going to say no. There's not. I mean, who's to say we wasn't his 6,000th experiment, for beings on a planet? Who's to say that? You know what I mean? It could be like, oh, that one failed. Oh, that one failed. That one failed, and that's why he talks about the rapture and everything else. Because like, I've got to save these people because they never could save themselves,
Right.
through all these other trials and errors. who's to say that's not the case? I don't know, but what I will say is I'm open-minded to it, but I need proof. You know, there's plenty of factual proof for the biblical times and everything that's written in the Bible. I mean, time and time again, scientists have found artifacts with things written on them that's in the Bible. So that has proven itself to me. But I, in general, I think there's way more bullshit with aliens and fiction out there. You know, it's cartoons and everything else. I
Right.
mean, it's just make believe. But yeah, as far as it goes, I think that a lot of the stuff I'm reading in this book, it's like holy shit. It talks about assassinations with presidents from Puerto Rico and all kinds of shit, man. It's crazy.
I bet.
And the conspiracies behind them and why they tried to assassinate the U.S. president and how close they got. And it's crazy. So, I don't know. It's weird.
Well, we killed JFK. I do believe that.
I'm not on that story yet, but that one's coming up. That
Yeah.
one's coming up. So,
There's just, I don't know. You could read between the lines and figure out what you want, but what that man stood for and all the handful of documentaries I've watched about him and what was the demographics as far as society and so on and what was happening in the world as a grand scale picture instead of just saying, oh, they killed the president. No, there was so many things going on in the world that contributed to the way he was governing and so on that they didn't like it. The government in general, the higher ups, the people of power.
so they pushed the button.
Yeah, and took him out. And they had a ploy for it.
Yeah. And it kind of reverts back to fucking Lincoln, same kind of thing.
Yep.
And, I mean, I don't know. I'm not saying we need to do that, but
No.
we definitely need to have the power.
We need to quit having a popularity contest.
The people need to have the power to,
Fight the power.
to remove these motherfuckers, the scumbags.
Speaking of money, who's responsible for getting fired at their job for, let's say, an investigation into someone's corruptness of their job title, and it turns out to be complete horseshit?
What do you mean?
So, for instance, if we'll just say you're at Walmart,
Yep.
we'll say you're a manager, and we'll say your assistant manager's been stealing $10,000 out of the fucking cashier's drawer every night for the
Yep.
last 10 years,
Okay.
whatever.
Yep.
And you say, okay, we're gonna launch an investigation.
Yep.
And I'm sure local law enforcement has to get involved and so on.
Yep.
Tons of man hours put into it.
Yep.
Turns out, nope, they weren't stealing it. You just miscounted, or you just made this shit up. Should someone be held liable for something like that?
Accountable. Like,
Yeah.
so me as the manager that
Yeah.
launched this whole charade game,
Let's say you had 10 employees confirm all this,
10 employees confirmed that she was never doing it.
and that she was.
And then
Nobody physically saw it or heard it or
But-
anything, but everybody's just like, that's, Debbie. Debbie over there is the one that's been taking the money out of the,
and then we do
cash
this
drawer.
whole thing and she wasn't the one.
yeah, or nothing at all. It was just you miscounted. Don't hang up on the whole miscounted thing so hard.
No, but
Just
I mean,
just saying just incorrect, and you spent X amount of money, and so on.
so that's just you trying to protect your investment. I mean,
You're trying to protect your investment, but at the end of the day, it was complete horseshit, right?
yeah. I mean, I see where you're going. I've already read through the lines, but all right. So the 10 employees, where did they come into play? So you put too much.
They're just part of the
details
party.
into it.
They're in the party. They're in the
In
Walmart party.
In the party. I mean, so
That's
realistically,
what I'm getting to.
So realistically, if I am falsely accusing Debbie of stealing money, and these 10 employees have all gone along with that, and we knew we were complete bullshit, and we lied, and law enforcement's involved, used a lot of man hours. Corporate Walmart's involved, used a lot of man hours, and they found out facts that we were all conspiring and lying, then yeah, we should be held accountable and we should owe that debt of all the man hours, all the money invested, all whatever, and we should be punished for that whole charade. Yeah. Yeah, that's my answer.
Yeah.
So,
And let's apply that. Let's apply those same tactics or same
to
principles.
the fucking Democrats, fuck them cocksuckers.
No. They try to impeach Trump twice.
Well, no, they did impeach Trump twice.
No,
They did.
well, he wasn't out of office.
They didn't remove the impeached president, but he is an impeached president. So is Clinton, and Clinton was never removed, but he is also an impeached president. So yeah, he was impeached per the Senate. That's an impeachment
But he wasn't removed from power from office.
fact. That's the difference. But he is an impeached president. That's a fact.
Based on no factual evidence
Right.
that of any wrongdoing that was technically illegal
Right.
in the primary governed state of Washington D.C. because it's its own identity, and that's a whole fucking debacle. If you actually go down that rabbit hole, it's so stupid.
Yeah, it is. But that's a way to protect those crooked motherfuckers.
I know. And when I found out, I was like, really? I said they have different laws for
Yes.
whatever actions are participated
In that state.
in that territory of
or
Washington
that
D.C.
territory. Yeah.
So I'm like, wow.
Yep.
I figured that out like 10 years ago. And I'm like,
It's out.
what?
It's out of the United States. Even though it's within, it's out of the guidelines of all the other rules and laws and shit. Yeah, it's fucked up.
It's one of the most dangerous places in the U.S.
That too.
And that's what's so funny about
Because the gun control is one of the highest in the U.S. in that territory.
it. Yep. And I was like, all these things just add up to a bunch of bullshit.
Corruption, 100%. But now that we've gone into this fucking rabbit hole, I think same thing with Brett Kavanaugh. You know, and when it all came down to the end, she said, "Well, it really wasn't me, but somebody had wrote this letter. We came across it, so I was standing up for this voice." Are you fucking kidding me? That could be a fiction letter.
Whole fucking charade.
A complete hoax that someone wrote and mailed in just to defame or decredit or slander this guy so he couldn't be one of the Supreme Court justices. We went through all of that, wasted all this taxpayer money, and come out nothing. She should have been on blast from point, and anybody associated
You'd
with
be a
that.
sexist.
Yeah.
You'd be a woman hater. You'd be a what do they call them? Not a shamer. Well, they don't trust women. Damn it! What's the word?
I have no fucking clue. I mean, feminist?
Victim blamer.
Oh, victim blamer.
Yeah, victim blamer. You become a victim blamer.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I just like knowing the facts. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't make a judgment call without due process.
But it's, I don't know, time and time again, we just turn a blind eye. We just turn
something
away.
new gets reported.
Yeah.
Something new grabs our attention.
Yeah.
That's why I don't listen.
And that's on purpose. I mean, 100%. It's just to take your attention away.
Yep.
So, same thing with, Atlanta getting fucked up
Yeah.
for Antifa.
Yeah. Stupid shit.
I mean, it's
And
nonstop.
it's not on the news anymore.
No. Nope.
Nobody cares.
No, not at all.
And did that person die that got shot by the cop?
Well, yeah, that Antifa member did die, and that was why, they came to fucking fuck up our city.
Yeah.
To justice for, and it's stupid, man. Man, did you see about the cops in Memphis, Tennessee?
Yeah. I haven't watched the video. I haven't. But it would.
Let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Have you seen the Rodney King video?
Yeah, many years ago.
All right, but do you remember how graphic and how it's the exact same?
Really?
Yeah. The only difference is instead of a bunch of white cops beating a black dude, it's a bunch of black cops beating a black dude. And so the race thing getting brought up once, but it's the whole police brutality and this and that. But those 5 cops need to be on fucking death row. And this dude's literally handcuffed the whole fucking time handcuffed. So Rodney King was on his back with his hands and feet up. This dude's handcuffed, hands behind his back, trying to put his feet up, trying to curl up in a ball, crying out to his fucking
Beating the
mama.
brakes off of him?
And they're beating the fucking brakes off of him. I mean, literally, it showed the cops, like, one of them holding him and the other one squaring up. Fucking, it looked like a gang fight, dude. And
But no, I haven't watched
this dude was in the hospital for 2 or 3 days and then passed away.
Damn.
I mean, I'm getting chills right now. Like, no shit. I mean, it infuriates me. I'm a huge law enforcement supporter for the fact
What was leading up to that whole? What was he
pulled him over for a traffic infraction.
And why were there 4 or 5 cops there? Back up.
Apparently, he didn't stop in enough time. He didn't stop fast enough, so they thought there was more to why he didn't pull over. But a traffic infraction is why they pulled him over, and then they beat this dude to death. It's fucked up, man.
Yep.
So, I don't know, man. When the fuck is this world going to, man? It's crazy.
There's always gonna be evil. There's always gonna be good.
Always. That's why I teach self-defense. With the equalizer.
On a second hand, what about a whole girl who got the train ran on her?
Oh, the cop.
Yeah.
Oh God, what was that? Utah, I think.
Something like that.
Yeah, Colorado. Yeah, it was Utah.
It's a gangbang.
I don't.
And her husband's like, I support her. I said, what were you holding the camera?
Dude, let me ask you a question. Have you seen all the memes? I know you had to on social media.
Yeah, because I saw him. I was like,
And
then I was like, what the fuck? Who is this bitch?
Yeah.
Like, I picked up on him like the whole, she had sex with a bunch of people, but I didn't. And she was a cop, but I actually had to research it and actually see, not video, obviously,
But
I'm sure
she's
there is
having
video.
she's having sex with other
Yeah.
officers at that department, and she's married.
Mhm.
And what kills me about it is if it was the other way around, if it was the dude cheating on the woman, there would be so much support, emotional support for that woman that was cheated on. But since this is the dude,
It's whatever.
there's memes everywhere.
Double standard.
Everyone's joking about it. Everybody's laughing about it. Oh, she's a whore. She's cheated on her husband with all these dudes. Ha 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 ha.
Internet's ruthless.
And this fucking husband, this poor son of a bitch at home, whether he knew or didn't know that his wife was fucking getting dicked down by the whole department, he's got to deal with that. Everywhere he goes, his face is on blast. It was,
Yeah.
hey, did you ever feel anything with your wife, dude? Like, was it just a hole you were in there? Just, yeah. Golly, man. Like the canine unit's dog was plowing. No, I'm just kidding.
Peanut butter.
Yeah. Yeah. The
no.
dog
But
when
when I saw
sniffed
that,
her crotch
I
from the
was
next room,
like,
30 feet away
But
on the
how did
couch.
the story come out? Was one of the guys bragging about it and
I
just
have
got
no
split
idea.
out?
I
was
didn't
curious.
look that far into it.
But I was like, wow. I was like, well, where do you go from there?
Walmart.
Is that what happened to you?
Yeah. That
getting-
bitch is going to work at
You're
Walmart.
getting
for the
pussy
rest
down
of
at
her life.
the local,
Yeah, watering hole.
the local McDonald's.
I had someone make that joke the other day, buddy I know. We were talking back and forth. He's getting a motorcycle, and he's like, he already bought it and ordered it, and it's being delivered and all that shit. And he's like, dude, yeah, I can't wait to ride, blah, blah, blah. And we're sitting there going back and forth about that, and there's always gay jokes in there. And then he was like, I just want one of them McDonald break room blowjobs. I was like, oh my gosh. Everything I say on this motherfucker's never going to go anywhere, apparently.
No, you
Oh,
can't run for
man.
Senate. You can't run for president.
Fuck that. Man, I don't know. I would love to, but I can't afford to.
No.
I can't afford to take off of work to do
Numbers
that.
game.
But,
You got money and time.
I mean, they get paid enough. So, I mean, like that salary.
Yeah, but you gotta make the position. You gotta make the roster.
Right. So,
But you gotta know people. It's all about the inner crowd.
yeah.
Outsiders. You can call Trump an outsider all you want, but at the end of the day, he was
He's-
funding everybody else's campaigns.
Yeah.
For many
years,
years. So
yes.
you call him outsider all
Yeah.
you want.
Yeah,
I'm
he was playing this game. Hey, I got this permit right here. I need signed,
Yeah.
and here's to your campaign.
Yeah.
And it worked.
Mhm.
I mean,
That's the game that's played.
Yeah, but that was whenever he was called out about it by Clinton when they were running off, he goes, "I did the same thing y'all do."
Did my checks not go through for y'all?
Yeah, I did the same thing y'all do. I did the same thing with my taxes that y'all do with your taxes. We all do the same thing. We'll show proof.
It's so funny they hang up on that shit.
Yeah, no.
It's so, I'm like, you guys are so worried about his money. Why are you worried about his money? When we already know all these other politicians have been in office for many years are dirty as can be.
Yeah, look at Pelosi's money. Holy shit.
Nobody do
Oh,
is a hammer.
I'm sorry. Her husband's money because he's invested.
He's like the best trader ever.
Yeah, yeah. The statistics of his trading options are beyond.
He's a genius.
Yeah, I mean beyond
And marry
anybody
her.
who's ever done it. Yeah, apparently he's not a genius.
I was listening to a podcast the other day. They're like, "Have you seen Nancy Pelosi's titties?"
Andrew Schultz. God, we talked about that
Yeah, we
already
did,
once.
we
The
did.
people's titties. I've
"Oh,
paid
she
for
has
him.
some
I wanna
fun
play for
bags
him.
on her."
Golly, he was going ham for like 30 minutes
shit was
talking about
funny.
her titties. I was like, holy
He's like, "I just
shit.
want to hold them in my mouth."
Oh, man. But, yeah, crazy, man. Everything. All this
a
bullshit.
shitstorm.
It is. It's a shit
And we're
show.
just on here talking shit,
Yeah.
not making anything happen.
Yeah, I
This is
know.
where dreams come to fail, kids. Make sure you listen.
You got that, Cameron?
Yeah.
I'm sure my kids hate me, how much I call them out on shit. I asked my daughter, or my wife asked Kylie the other day, she said, just curious, have you listened to... No, not one. Good. But my sons do.
Yeah.
Carter's invested. He's up to date with everyone. Cameron was, but then the other day he asked me a question. I was like, it was on the podcast. Oh, really? Yeah, it was like 2 episodes ago, bitch. I guess you fell off the train.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Too busy on TikTok.
All good. Yeah, no shit. But fuck TikTok. I keep getting banned. I did our night of our birthday, playing Bunko. Like, how the fuck does this
Yeah.
get banned?
He was like live. You're live streaming, right?
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
live streaming, and we were just playing.
Yeah, we're having
Fun.
playing dice game, chopping it up, drinking, having. It was literally like security camera footage for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, it was sitting back in the corner of the room, seeing a couple different tables and how we rotate and this and that. I walked over there and to move the camera, and I don't know what happened. I moved it to get a close up.
I think you said like faggot or something.
Maybe, but I moved it to get closer to the one table so you could actually see the game. That was my thought behind it. Like, let me put it at POV if you're standing at the table watching us play, so you can kind of get an idea of the game in case you didn't know. And I brought it over there, sat down, was looking at it, started doing whatever, and then it made a ding, and I looked, and it's, oh, you're banned. I'm like, what the fuck? So then I did a video like, fuck you, faggot motherfuckers.
But
and
if
then
you're
that
half
guy-
naked with a nipple barely exposed,
and you're 12,
yeah,
that shit's gonna go viral.
yeah, we're good to go.
It kills me, man. The censorship, it's so fucked up, wrong, and
Backwards.
yeah, 100%. Morals and values are out the window. But I don't know.
Whatever gets you to stay on longer.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyways, you want to call it?
Yeah, man. We'll call it. I think it was good. We had some good conversation. We cleared up some bullshit from our last episode that we were unclear on. So
If you have any information for Gwyneth on that stink pussy, please send it in. I'll be sure to forward that to her.
yeah,
Maybe she's still in that chat room, getting chatted up.
getting plowed down like the officer from Utah.
Boing.
But yeah, man.
When you get her on the podcast.
No, she is not coming in this place.
But we can't smell her through the microphone. We'll do a remote.
No, but as soon as she pulls up on my property, my dogs will smell her and start barking. Yeah.
What do you got in there, little girl?
Probably attack. Dude, I'm going to tell you what. Probably attack her like they did the chicken upstairs. So my wife's on this kick now with having groceries delivered. It's really easy.
Of course it is. You just hit a button, it shows up.
Yeah. And dude, that's dope. You know how much time that saves us?
Just grocery pickup at Walmart's nice.
Yeah, but this is so
That's
much
supposed to be
nicer.
peasant for you.
Fuck you, dude. So anyways, you're supposed to tip actually really good though for this shit. Like 20-30%.
$6,000 tip.
Yeah, to their government. But so anyways, so I was getting ready, all this shit ready for us this morning. Went in there to my wife, and she's still chilling out for a minute. And I was like, "Hey, babe, gonna get up a little bit?" And she's like, "Yeah, I guess." Has the groceries been delivered? I was like, "Oh, I didn't know that was today." And I went and looked. I was like, "Yeah, it's all on the front porch." Brought it all in, sitting on the counters. They walked on my porch, and my dogs never barked. That some tiptoeing motherfucker there. So I need to give him a bigger tip for that. But so, anyways, brought it all in, set it up. Was talking to my wife for a minute, set it all on the counters. I was about to get in the shower, and she goes, "Go check on the food real quick," because she was just finishing up something, about to go put the groceries up. Walk out there, and a fucking pack of chickens on the floor. Dogs fucking already devoured one chicken breast. You know, and that's all I eat now, right? Except for last night. Fuck, I cheated. And I think that's why my stomach hit me. I had to go shit.
I gotta go. Get this toxic shit out of me.
Yeah, I had 2 6-packs, so it was 12 Oreos.
Man.
That was my stress eating when I found out about my taxes yesterday. And the whole $6,000
My comfort
shit.
food, where my Oreos at?
Dude. But, so anyways, I think that's what just fucked my stomach up. But, yeah, motherfucker sitting there eating, what, like $7 worth of chicken? You cocksucker.
You would have put him out of his misery if you would have got the eggs.
I would have put him out his misery for that. That's all I'm eating is chicken, a little bit of rice, broccoli, a Slim Jim,
No eggs.
piece of cheese. Eggs are mixed in with it, and nuts. So that's all I'm eating in a day, and I'm only eating between a 4 and 6 hour window, and I'm intermittent fasting for the rest of the day. But yeah, so I'm taking 3 to 4 eggs, fry them, cut them up real small, mix it in with the wild rice. Wild rice has less calories, less carbs, less whatever, less than wheat, and broccoli, steaming broccoli, cutting it up real fine, mixing it all in so it kind of looks like stir fry a little bit, and then baked chicken with a ton of seasoning on it. And yeah, so that's what I'm eating. It's good. Prepping for the whole week. It's working out great. I've lost a pound to a pound and a half every day until today. I'm 2 pounds higher than I was yesterday. Fucking Oreos.
I'm gonna order some Oreos for you.
Fuck you. There's a whole pack upstairs. I've been real
I'll
good.
take them with me.
I've been real good without eating them. I mean, the kids eat them, you know. I've been doing really good sticking to this diet. And then,
I'm glad I don't have a metabolism like you. 'Cause
yeah,
I
mine's
eat,
slow
I
as
eat
fuck.
everything,
Mine's slow as fuck.
and it's slowing down, but still, it's 80% of what it was when I was like 20, and I could eat whatever.
Well, a lot of it has to do with your childhood, how you ate. We ate like shit.
Yeah,
I mean,
every
and-
kid does.
Yeah, no, I mean,
I ate cereal like 3 times a day.
yeah, but
for like 20 years.
I overate and stuffed myself, and then every meal I ate when I was, younger, a little thick kid. I wasn't necessarily a fat ass growing up. I mean, I was a fat kid, but then when I got to my teenage years, I was just, thick. I wasn't crazy out. I didn't have a big gut, nothing like that. Nothing like I've had as an adult. But yeah, I just never had a good nothing eating habits. But doing this, I'm gonna win this money. Fuck them.
Got you to pay your taxes.
Golly, yeah, no shit.
You take up those secondary bets all over the place.
Anyways, so we were gonna end this shit, and then you got me hyped
Yeah,
up.
I know.
But
Let's go eat some Oreos. Come on.
well, fuck you. Anyways, good episode, man. I
Yep.
think it was a good one. I have to definitely cut out your solo act here.
Yeah.
It was garbage.
It was.
I wasn't even here, and I know it was garbage.
Thank you.
Well,
Positive influence
just
here.
because you stopped it, bitch. That was why
I
I'm going
did.
off of your word.
No, I just didn't want to waste your battery.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna end this shit.
Bye, everybody.